Don't ask me if I'm all right. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Matt Jones may take it to the house and the dunk.
You both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Produced by Matt Travis.
Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Hold the rope! I put my heart, dog. Let's go, man.
Probably as frustrated as I've been the first half.
Do we believe?
Second half, very happy.
Is vintage Matt Jones.
Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Hold the rope! 1, 2, 3! 1, 2, 3! Turn that down, Drew!
Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Well, it's been a fun few days to be in Razorback land for football specifically right now. Team picks up their second win in a row. Your athletic director says no to a longtime division rival, signs on for an extra few years here at Arkansas, and then you get to see another division rival lose their athletic director to that same school. What an interesting few days. And we still have a lot more interesting stuff on the horizon with the month of November starting today. And as we all know, Matt, I know you've probably heard it before, they remember November. They did last year when Arkansas finished on a run. And hopefully it'll be another November to remember. Yeah, everybody made it through Halloween well. Do we have the sick to our stomach feeling that I think so many children have the day after their favorite day of the year? I'm feeling all right. I don't eat too much candy. My kids, on the other hand, I don't know. But, you know, that doesn't mean they don't take the candy to school. It's like the thing that all kids look forward to is now they can take more candy than usual to school in the lunchbox. We got plenty to give to.
Teachers love it.
Yeah, exactly.
At least at school, Phil, unlike your car, when they eat too much and throw up, they have that sawdust stuff they can just throw on the ground and let it all soak up. You should carry around some of that in your car.
It's a good point. Baking soda helped out as far as that's concerned.
Great suggestion from Alyssa Orange.
It did work very well. Yeah. And any parent of a young kid knows what that's like. Yesterday was I would usually be bummed out that the World Series game gets rained out, but I was happy about it because they gave me extra time to walk around with the kids doing our thing. So
I'm glad they called it off and didn't say maybe we'll come back. It's like, hey, look, we're just done. You know, they didn't leave you hanging on. So yes, it's over. It's over.
You guys sit around here for a couple of hours while
right.
we figure out whether or not we're going to make you sit around here even longer.
Wear your costume again tomorrow. Just come on back. Yeah.
That's right. So we'll do it again. Instead they'll do it today, and a couple of days off might help both of these teams reset their pitching for the remainder of the World Series. But yes, we
can get in that later. I do want to ask you, who do you think it helps, and as far as with does it help the shortened pitching staff? And we got all day to get to it.
Yeah, we do have 3 hours to get to this, and we've got Chuck Barrett with us in the next segment. Clay Henry will join us for a couple of hours starting at the top of this hour. We'll get to it's not a tradition yet because we've only done it once, but it'll be a new Tuesday tradition. Name That Hog, presented by Alumni Hall. We'll give away a $25 gift card at about 12:30-ish. I think that's when we did it last week. And Clay gave us a good one that is, I think, still fresh in a lot of people's minds. Tonight also is when the College Football Playoff Committee rankings are released. These are the rankings that matter. You know, we don't really kick around too much about the AP and the coaches poll. You know, mention it every once in a while and what these things might mean, but it's the rankings that come out at 6 o'clock tonight that certainly matter a lot more.
And I know a lot of people aren't. I guess it's not the sexy pick, but this LSU Alabama game, it's at nighttime at LSU, and Alabama they've lost already, but the winner of that game controls the West. I mean, LSU could still be playing in Atlanta for the SEC championship game.
That's right, and I've got there's this line of thinking which is going to eventually have to go away because we're moving to an expanded playoff in the near future. But people that have been anti-playoff expansion have pointed out that really throughout the season there are a number of what already are considered sort of quasi-playoff games, even in the regular season, and certainly some of the conference championships can line up that way when it's, two teams that are undefeated facing each other for the championship, which still can happen in the SEC. It can't happen in any other league right now. That's what makes that Ohio State versus Michigan game that's really, if things all turn out the way that they should in the next couple of weeks, that's a de facto playoff game. I don't think Georgia and Tennessee is.
You think that if Tennessee goes into Georgia because they're on the road and it's a battle just like Alabama, Tennessee, and that one of those teams with one loss could end up getting in there?
Well, I think what could happen here is, like, let's say Tennessee plays a great game but loses, at the gun. Kind of like how Alabama did against Tennessee in Knoxville.
Because Tennessee's not losing. Tennessee's not getting beat in the last 3 games. You see who they play. They play Missouri, South Carolina, Vanderbilt. They're not losing to any one of those 3 teams. This is it for them.
Yeah, that's a 3-0, no doubt about that. So, they're going to finish with either no losses or 1. But if Tennessee were to lose that game and it's a tight one, and then Georgia goes on to the SEC championship, and let's say Alabama still wins the West Division, though they've got to play LSU, Ole Miss, and Auburn. But, LSU and Ole Miss, I think there's going to be a couple of good games, especially this weekend in Baton Rouge. And then you keep in mind Alabama plays both of those games on the road. But let's say Alabama beats LSU and Ole Miss and takes care of Auburn and wins the West Division and then goes on to defeat Georgia in the SEC championship game, and then you've got 3 one-loss teams in the SEC, and then you've got, everybody beat the other team. You're going to end up with 2 teams out of the SEC in the playoff.
Then
one of them could be Tennessee because then they beat the league champion. There is a scenario where this works out.
It'd be a mess. That'd be a fun mess, man. That would be that would be something else. Now, it has to happen, and it's going to be a fun game this week, and that LSU Alabama game too. But that would be pretty sick if all 3 of those teams had 1 loss there at the end.
But Matt, let's project a little bit. I don't think they've settled on the year that the new playoff structure begins. We keep hearing, they want it to be 2024. There's going to be momentum towards that happening in a couple of years. It hasn't been signed yet. I think the earliest that the expansion can happen as of now is 2026.
I was going to ask, when's that New Year's 6? When's that kind of the TV deals? That's probably when all that would happen. Is when's that up?
That's 24. I think it's 24 where that all ends.
The New Year's 6. So okay. So then I think you go from there, and then you could expand it.
I might be getting some of these dates mixed up, but the whole point that I'm bringing here is, eventually you're going to probably going to be, I think, 12 teams.
Oh, my goodness, really?
I think you're going to go to 12 teams in the playoff. There'll be a bye for the top 4, and then the remaining 8 will play.
How many more games is that? 4 more games total for the teams that win it? It's
It could be. Let's say you're the 12 seed. You win a game. And you play one of the top. It ends up being 3 extra.
3. That's okay. That's not. I mean, it's especially if 12 game would be the most you could have in a regular season, and then 3 extra game would be your 15 games. But are you adding that championship? Then you end up playing 17 games in a season. It's kind of wild.
Well, let's look to the idea that if you have 12, there's a good chance that there are some years that the SEC gets 3 teams amongst those final 12.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. So right now, there would be, it would be a multi-layered race going on amongst these teams in the SEC with LSU
playing for one of those buys. You want to get a bye week, to get in there,
In this case, it's like you've already in your mind then on a 12-team playoff, you've already in your mind put Georgia and Tennessee in the playoff
and Alabama. If they win LSU, they're going to win the West.
We're still in this position where it's like you assume Alabama wins whatever game that they're playing because they're Alabama. Certainly in the West Division, that's the case. Going to Baton Rouge right now, I don't think anything's automatic.
I don't either. Yeah, but if they win that game, then I think that they're in the SEC West champion. Yeah, they're the SEC West champs.
Well, it just shows how this race changes a little bit. Now we're like, all right, Georgia and Tennessee, they're playing for East supremacy. Maybe this is like some sort of a de facto playoff game. Fast forward 3 or 4 years, it isn't. These teams are already in the playoff. So they're playing for division primacy, which I guess is just as exciting. because this is going to be a great football game when it comes right down to it. I think you got a couple of really good, really maybe 3 even this weekend in the SEC.
Well, and it gives teams like a Illinois or an Oregon or your Oklahoma State, that just laid an egg, they can still get into that top 12. They give some of those teams like that where you don't have to be perfect. Some of these you got to be perfect or you can only have one loss.
That is so wild, the words that you just uttered. Illinois potentially in the football playoff.
If they win out.
You're not kidding, man. And it's legit. Like, they still have Michigan on the schedule, but they could end up, Michigan State, Purdue,
they're favored
Michigan,
by
Northwestern.
17 at home against Michigan State this week. Illinois can't even score 17 points, and they're favored by 17.
That'd be kind of crazy to think about that. Here it was, a couple of weeks ago, we were kicking around the idea of Arkansas versus Illinois in the Music City Bowl. And maybe that's the case, but right now, Illinois ranked 14th in the AP. Man, they're looking to get into that top 12. Of course, it's not about the top 12 right now necessarily. It's trying to get to the top 4, but conversations change quite a bit over the course of 2 weeks. Conversation in Auburn has now changed as they have an athletic director who used to be the baseball coach at Kentucky and then used to be the baseball coach at Mississippi State and now is the former athletics director at Mississippi State. He is one of 3 former Mississippi State athletics directors that now have another job running an athletics department in the Southeastern Conference. And I wonder why that is. I don't know if it's a matter that Starkville isn't the most exciting place in the world. It's about the same size as Auburn. It might have something to do. I read a pretty interesting column today by Pat Forty talking about NIL collectives being a reason why an athletics director might look in one school and say, you know what, they've got their money going in the right direction, coming from the right people, and it's a big pot.
It's a lot of money.
It's a bigger pot of money than what we've got over here. That might be a reason why, too. And then there's the other idea that, Mississippi State's never competed for a league, for a championship, and Auburn has. So they end up getting jilted again.
You're still second fiddle to Alabama at Auburn, though. So, yeah, there is. I think it's kind of – but maybe that helps Fayetteville. Maybe it helps University of Arkansas. They have a lot of money up there that they know what they're doing with. So maybe that's one of the reasons Arkansas is so successful. I mean, they're one of the hot just colleges in general when you look at all sports going up there.
That is the truth. All right, let's step aside here. Chuck Barrett's coming up in the next segment. I'll be talking with the voice of the Razorbacks about, kind of an interesting juxtaposition with Arkansas being the last team that Brian Harsin coaches against for Auburn. Maybe Hugh Freeze is the guy that Auburn is going to target, and that's who's coming into Fayetteville this Saturday. And we'll get many more thoughts from the voice of the Razorbacks after this on Halftime.
Don't you mistrust, love's gone behind.
You're listening to Toyota Tuesday. Stop by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places.
Guys, I want to get into the podcast game. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, the Gimme the Hogs Chuck podcast. Stealing it from Ruskin and Zach, who blatantly stole it from Gino Bell. Gimme the Hogs Chuck podcast. It's brought to you by Weichert Realtors and the Griffin Company. We're going to do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It's going to be available at hitthatline.com. It's basically going to be my take on what's happening in the world of sports.
Give me the Hogs, Chuck!
Gray Brothers Equipment understands the importance of your hay crop, and they're ready to help with quality Kubota products like Kubota rotary disc mowers, Kubota brand wheel hay rakes, and BV round balers attached to Kubota's M-Series cab tractor. Together, Kubota and Gray Brothers will make your hay days fun again. That's Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Photo, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon.
Ride without compromise. CF Moto's brand new U-Force 1000 XL with 2 3-person bench seats to haul more rear ends as you haul butt. Auto Finders in Adventure, Oklahoma has the perfect CF Moto for any road you choose. Get some serious mud on the tires with aluminum rims, custom paint, power steering, and a 3,000-pound winch. No wonder the CF Moto is Auto Finders' best-kept dirty little secret. Ride without compromise at Auto Finders in Adventure, Oklahoma in Roland. Visit a complete list of inventories online at autofindersok.com. Your search ends here.
Hell is a big enough problem on its own. Good thing Dent Source LLC is on the job, specializing in auto hail repair from personal vehicles to large fleet. Dent Source LLC makes customers smile, one vehicle at a time. High insurance deductible? No problem. Dent Source LLC will pay your deductible. Need a loaner vehicle during repair? No problem. Dent Source LLC has free loaner vehicles. Stop by 2820 South Zero Street across from Play It Again Sports or call 479-337-4443. That's 479-337-4443. Dent Source LLC. No problem.
Christina Katsavis is running for Fort Smith City Director at Large, position 5. And if you live in Fort Smith city limits, you can vote in the August 9th citywide Board of Directors election. Christina is a small business owner, wife, mother, volunteer, and community leader. All regular polling places will be open from 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday. A vote for Christina is a vote for your voice. Vote Christina Katsavis for Fort Smith City Director at Large, position 5. Ad paid for by Christina Katsavis campaign.
Honey, I found a great new house for us to buy. Look at the photos.
Yeah? Who's gonna clean that big house?
We'll hire a housekeeper.
And who's gonna mow all that grass?
I will, on the weekends.
And who will get the kids to school?
We'll start a neighborhood carpool.
You thought of everything, didn't you?
Yep.
Except, who's gonna sell this house we're living in now?
Nick and Ellie Glidewell. nickandellie.com. Equal housing opportunity, Sagely and Edwards Realtors.
For 33 years, Manfield's Automotive Parts City Auto Parts has been trusted as your one-stop for all your vehicle needs. Get a great deal on a Superstart battery and any of the products you need for the do-it-yourself upkeep on your car or truck. When you need work done, Mansfield Automotive Parts City Auto Parts does everything from oil changes, brakes, alignments, diagnostic work, air conditioning, and more. Mansfield Automotive Parts City Auto Parts in downtown Mansfield is open 8 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and 8 to 1 on Saturdays.
Get by your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith and make it a double combo with the Jamie Foxx Fox on the Rocks box with Friday's big ribs and wings served with seasoned fries in one of our 2 new awesome sauces. The new Fox on the Rocks barbecue sauce made with BSB brown sugar bourbon flavored whiskey and whiskey glaze blaze. And now Fridays has $2 beer all day every day. So stop by your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
So Malik takes the snap, takes a knee, and mercifully, this one has come to an end. The Hogs are 5-3. How about that? They come to Auburn. They snap a 6-game losing skid to the Tigers, and the Razorbacks win it by a final of 41-27.
Find halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
And happy to bring on the voice of the Razorbacks, Chuck Barrett, here on halftime on this Tuesday. Chuck, good to talk to you again. How's the last couple days been?
Well, not bad. How are you guys doing?
What's up, Chuck?
Feeling good, man.
How are you? Good.
Got outside with the kids yesterday, did a little trick-or-treating. Gabe was Marty McFly. I was Doc Brown. I got no candy. I gave it all to him. Anybody come by your house last night?
Yeah, I had a few. I'm pretty much recovering from a sugar coma right now after eating all the candy that I did not pass out. I swore I wasn't going to do this. I do it every year. I swear I'm not going to eat the candy. If I don't have enough trick-or-treaters, I'm just going to throw it away. But didn't happen quite like that.
Well, I mean, it's sitting there. What are you supposed to do with it, right?
Well,
Someone talks to me when it's not being eaten.
And I only buy the good candy.
That's what I was going to ask, Chuck. What we had that yesterday going on? Yeah, what do you got?
I mean, we had Snickers, we had Twix, we had Butterfinger, which are my personal favorite. And, we had name brand stuff, Matt. There wasn't any like candy corn or like, that generic candy.
We come back.
The good stuff.
Yeah, Chuck. When I was younger, and we'd go, and I was always a football player. We were talking about what people were. I was a Ninja Turtle or a football player. I was wondering what people were. But we'd go to the houses, and then whatever ones gave the best candy, we would go back to those and just hit those again about 2 hours later. That's absolutely right.
Well, at 8:40 last night, a couple of guys came by, and they got what was left.
There you go.
I did put a little personal stash back for later in the evening. But, in terms of what was out there for the public, they got the rest of it right then. I mean, they hit the jackpot, believe me.
Just a little bit more, because I didn't even get to bring it up yesterday. Last night on my street, someone gave out pretzels. It's a bit of a weird give out.
Yeah.
So they put them in Ziploc bags themselves?
No.
Yeah.
It was a little bag.
They're healthy though for you, right? Isn't that the whole kick? They're supposed to be better for you than Snickers.
They just don't have all the sugar in it. Now I wonder what you guys would think of being the house that I grew up in. This didn't happen every year, but my father's a pediatric dentist, so you can see the direction I'm going with this. Every once in a while, it was toothbrushes. I'm not kidding. I hated being that kid.
Give him a toothbrush with the Tootsie Pop.
Toothbrush.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Pediatric dentist. What can I say?
My favorite is anytime you're going through a Starbucks or and there's a dentist office right next to the Starbucks. You're like, that was good marketing right there. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, you know what you're doing, Chuck. I think it was pretty obvious. There's the stand started to empty in the third quarter at Auburn, and it wasn't even 100% full. And the way the game was progressing, and Arkansas just wore Auburn down. And I think this goes for us too. Everybody was really excited to get out of Jordan-Hare Stadium. Certainly everyone in orange at the top of the list.
It was one of those days that you just kind of knew something bad was about to happen. And I felt that way even before the game started. I mean, it was you were there, and it just kind of had a weird vibe to it. And I know because we've been through it here. And you could tell that things were about to end. I mean, you could tell it was on its last gasp, and I felt that from the minute I walked in the stadium. I think when you're losing, when things are not going right in football, it permeates through everything. I mean, there's no facet of your operation that's not affected by losing in football. I mean, right down literally to parking cars. I mean, everything is affected by losing in football. I just thought their entire operation was affected. You could tell it was a program in disarray. You could tell it was an athletic program in disarray. I mean, Bruce Pearl kind of operates on his own. Yeah. But, the rest of their programs, you could just kind of tell they were leaderless. And I was not surprised by what happened.
Chuck, and this the other side of that, do you think this is as stable as Arkansas athletics and with Yurachek signing an extension? But this is for a Razorback fan, are we about as stable as we have been in a while?
I don't think there's any question, Matt, and I think that's a good point. And you look at where we are right now, and Auburn evidently came after Hunter, and why wouldn't they? We've had a lot of success, and so. And plus, they've got a ship that needs to be righted, kind of like ours was. And he's done that here, and they wanted him to do it there. And fortunately for Arkansas, he decided to stay. And so, you look at the overall health of the program right now. We're in pretty good shape. I mean, just across the board in terms of winning and losing, in terms of money, in terms of NIL, in terms of coaches. I mean, right now, you'd like to freeze time and just keep it like this. I mean, the world changes, and this won't last forever. But right now, it's pretty good, and we need to enjoy it.
Yes, sir. We're looking forward to basketball season, and then by then we'll be looking forward to baseball. We're always looking forward because there's success and hope out there. You're exactly right.
Well, everybody's got a season. Everybody's got a season. And there was a time, and, Matt, I know you remember these days, and Phil, you do too, when we weren't good at one sport and we were good at the other, and we kind of hung our hat on that, and we always knew we'd be pretty good in baseball in the spring. But, now we've got that, and our women's sports are doing well, so there's a good deal to be proud of. And, it starts by hiring the right people. It starts by hiring the right coaches. But a big part of it is keeping the good ones that you've got. You're fortunate that you're in a conference that allows you to pay them above and beyond what virtually any other conference can pay, generally speaking. And doesn't mean you won't get outbid every once in a while, but there's not really anywhere else in college sports outside the SEC where you can go make more money. And so, you've got that built-in advantage. But as we've seen, having a lot of money doesn't ensure you success. I mean, you've still got to make the right calls, and you've got to keep the good ones that you've got. And he's been able to do that. And that's the most important thing I think an athletic director can do. You hire good coaches, particularly a good football coach, and everything else will fall into place.
I guess part of it is like feeling like you've got all the resources necessary really to build a good football program. Just like you're saying, that's the thing that's going to carry the most weight. Pat Forty wrote an interesting article that I read this morning where he's pointing out about the NIL collectives are one thing that can kind of attract an athletic director from one major institution to another. And I don't really know like the size of the NIL collective that Arkansas got set up through the folks at through the Hunt family, but I know it's fairly large. I see an athletic director from the SEC West in John Cohen taking the job at Auburn, and I'm thinking, well, I guess there's tradition in everything that Auburn's got for football that Mississippi State doesn't. But maybe part of that is an NIL collective, and this is like, part of the new things of college sports to partially attract coaches and athletic directors too.
Well, because, with that comes winning. And with winning comes the opportunity to advance in your professional career, to make more money or move to a better job or have a statue built of you. I mean, all the things that come with professional advancement in this business. A lot of that does hinge on NIL money right now. Let's just be honest. Whether you're trying to get players or whether you're trying to get coaches or ADs or whoever you're after. It's just like any other walk of life. If you got a bunch of money in your back pocket, you're probably a little bit more in the game than others. And I think Arkansas is in the game. And I hate to make it sound like that because to me, I still think deep in my soul it kind of cheapens the college experience when we talk about this all the time. But I also know that that's the reality of it. And I think, we're obviously in a position here to be competitive. Are we the richest one out there? No. But I think when you look at our conference, we're in the game. But I also think when you look at a move like Cohen, I think just the opportunity to have more money with which to work at Auburn probably did have something to do with the fact that he left Mississippi State.
Chuck, I know you've seen a lot of good running backs up there last few seasons, but can you talk about Rocket Sanders and what he's done for this offense and how he just seems to be getting better? It just each week it's like he's running stronger and harder, and just what a joy he is to have up there.
Well, it just seems like every game there's he's going to break one. At some point he's going to break one. And, I know he didn't score on that play at Auburn, but, you're down there in the inside your own 10-yard line, and all of a sudden you flip the field and you end up going in to score. And so, he makes huge runs. And the offensive line's really playing well. I mean, you look at the balance they have on offense right now. That's got a lot to do with it. Rocket is a very patient runner. I mean, he plays. He's got this instinct. I mean, this is a guy that was a wide receiver, but he has this instinct for being able to use his blockers and to cut back at just the right moment. And that's stuff that I know you can enhance with coaching, but I'm not sure. In some cases you've either got it or you don't. And he's got it. And the fact that he's playing behind a really good offensive line helps a lot. The fact that they are balanced on offense helps a lot. But, boy, more than anything, I mean, this is just a guy that wants to be good, evidently, and is doing everything you got to be good. He's he's not done yet either. I mean, he's done this in 8 games. We got a lot of season left.
Yeah, as a quarterback, I loved it when I had a 100-yard rusher. You know, when you got a guy you can hand it to and he can get first downs for you, it just opens up the whole playbook. So, you know, KJ and KJ's playing with a lot of poise right now. He's playing with a lot of confidence. The offense, and I think we know that. I think we know as an offense we're going to have to put up 40 a game to win these last few games.
Going to have to score probably. You know, I thought the defense was better against Auburn. Now, Auburn's not a great offensive team, and that may have had something to do with it. Liberty may pose more challenges. I think we feel pretty certain that Ole Miss and LSU will. And, Missouri had a good win. So, they're not it's not the layup that it seemed like it might be early in the year. So they're going to have to score points. There's no doubt about that. But I think right now when you look at what they've done the last 2 games. 52 and 41, and sometimes we're kind of like, ho-hum, they only scored 41 points. That's not easy to do. But if they score 41 points the rest of the way, if they average that the rest of the way, I'll take my chances.
All right, we got Chuck for another segment on halftime. We'll open the phone lines and the text line. If you got a question or you just want to talk with him or us, 877-377-6963 is the number. Brought to you by Ouachita Farms. They make Lark. You probably tried it recently at either your tailgate or your watch party. Lark, it's made by Ouachita Farms, and you can catch a buzz without any booze. Lark has no alcohol in it, but it does have a perfect balance of hemp-derived THC and CBD. Strawberry guava, mango, grapefruit, and berry are the flavors. And how do they make it taste so good without any sugar? There's no carbs, no calories, and no alcohol in Lark. Got to be 21 years of age or older to consume. You can find Lark at your local adult beverage store. You can have it shipped to your house from larkhemp.com. More with Chuck Barrett after a break on halftime.
You're listening to Toyota Tuesday. Stop by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places.
Cooler weather is on the way. Is your heating system ready? Let Ashley Air get your home ready with their $69 fall tune-up special. Ashley Air's trained technicians will check your system and make certain it's heating your home efficiently. It's just part of Ashley Air's 100% satisfaction guarantee. On game day, call the Hogs. When your heat needs repaired, call Ashley Air. Get your $69 fall tune-up now. Just go to AshleyAir.com to schedule your tune-up. That's AshleyAir.com. Proud sponsors of Razorback Athletics. Wheels RV wants you to seek out all the natural state has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV. Deer hunters, rifle season is almost here, and Jelco Outdoors just received another large shipment of box blinds by Lazy Man, Hawk, and Earth Blind. All blinds are assembled with 6 and 10-foot tower option. Hunt in comfort this year. Check out the large selection of box blinds at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith. Remember, a great hunt begins at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Whether you're fishing for cold water bass on Beaver Lake or Table Rock, or fishing for a trophy brown trout on the mighty White River, the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue will catch them. It has that famous rolling action whether it's fished extremely slow or worked fast in heavy current. This Rogue suspends, so it will stay in the strike zone longer, allowing you to catch more fish. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue.
Elite Roofing is a locally owned roofing contractor. If you're building a new home or maybe need a new roof on your existing home, Elite Roofing can take care of you. Elite Roofing is known for their dependability and reliability. Just ask any of their satisfied customers. They are licensed and insured, and references are available upon request. If you need a roof, call your local roofing contractors. Elite Roofing, 478-8668. That's 478-8668. Elite Roofing, 478-8668.
Flu season is here, and and Law's Drugstore in Fort Smith has flu shots available now to safely care for you and your family. Law's Drugstore still has COVID vaccinations and boosters available for ages 5 and up, as well as shingles, pneumonia, and whooping cough vaccines. Call 452-6116 to schedule your flu or vaccine shot appointment, or stop by Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore opens 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Stop in and check out the selection, check out the savings on a daily basis at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Got my buddy Andrew with me. And, Andrew, looking over the Lightning, that's a demo. You guys actually have a Lightning that is available. It just came in.
That's right. Just got it in. This thing is not going to be here long, and it's a Lariat, so it has got a lot of options.
This thing's beautiful. It's ice blue. It's a good-looking truck. And being totally electric, you can even power your house with it.
Absolutely. Power goes down. I think it's up to 3 days they say this thing can run your house for.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. So someone wants to come in, test drive one. Not only can you test drive it, but you can also take it home with you. Not a luxury that we've had at Randall.
Absolutely no. We have not had these things to sell, so this is exciting. Need people to get in here now to get it done.
All they got to do is just come by and ask for Andrew?
That is correct.
There you go. Come see us today, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Don't forget, you can always shop us online 24/7 at randallford.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The Gimme the Hogs Chuck podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Brought to you by Weikert Realtors, the Griffin Company. You can listen to it at hitthatline.com or wherever you hear your favorite podcasts.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Give them a call or send them a text at 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
They're both really good. Obviously, they've won games with both of them. I think they're very similar, that they're both athletic. Both have good arms. The coach got a decision. He's the coach of them. He got a decision on what he wants to do, because certainly Bennett's been playing well. So, but we'll be prepared for both of them. I'm not going to tell you it's an easy preparation, but, they're going to run their offense, and both of them are really talented, obviously. So I'm not positive who they'll play.
That's Chuck Barrett. That's Sam Pittman talking yesterday. We have Chuck Barrett with us right now. Sorry, I get you guys confused every once in a while. And Matt Jones. Chuck, he's talking about either Jonathan Bennett or Charlie Brewer, the two quarterbacks that Liberty could start. Brewer's the guy that was at Baylor and then Utah and has just played a lot of college football. But really, when you look at what's on the schedule for the next 3 weeks, you're facing offenses that can really run it, and offenses that have quarterbacks that can really run it too. This is going to be key, the ability to at least slow their offense down as far as the rushing game is concerned.
Yeah, and I would not imagine that they would change starting quarterbacks. I guess they could, but when you look at the way Bennett's been playing and the way they've been winning, I can't imagine they would change their formula. But both these guys can run, and you're right. I mean, this is you're going to have a much more balanced offense than what you faced this past week, for example. And, what I don't know and what we're just going to have to find out is what their speed is in relation to Arkansas. I mean, you look at the teams that they've played, and I'm not taking anything away from their schedule, but, there is, and we saw in the BYU game, I mean, there can be a real difference in that area. And I don't know that there will be Saturday, but I hope maybe if there is, Arkansas can benefit from that.
So just like Matt had mentioned in the last segment, and we went into the break thinking about this, the offense is rolling. What does Arkansas need from their defense to have this to get on this run, 2-game winning streak? You'd like to make it 3, 4, 5. What you kind of have a sense of what to expect out of the Arkansas offense. What do they need from their defense?
Well, I think they need to play situational defense, and I think we'll go back to what we saw at Auburn on Saturday. Auburn's driving at the start of the third quarter, and they got lost yardage plays, and they forced them into a 52-yard field goal. And, you go even to the period in the first half, I think it was, and admittedly the times kind of run together, but I believe it was – not sure if it was in the second quarter, when they missed that 46-yard field goal. Pooh Paul had a sack just prior to that, and that pushed him back, missed the 46-yard field goal. Now, look, that's not the stuff of legends right there, and I'm not suggesting that it is, but I think that's the type defense that you've got to play. I think when you need a stop, you got to be able to get it. You may have given up 30 points that day. You may be ahead 35-30, or you may be behind 35-32. You got to have a stop. I mean, you have got to get the ball back, and they do that for you. I don't think statistically we're going to look at this thing over the last month of the season and say, wow, I mean, the first 2 months of the season they gave up 30 points a game, and the last month they gave up 10. I don't think it's going to be like that. But I do think that, situationally, there are areas where they can make plays. And when your offense, when you look, I think 5 straight possessions they scored down there at Auburn. All you got to do if you're on defense, and I say all you got to do, but what you've got to do is get a couple of stops in the midst of all that. And they did that in the second half, and when they got the ball back, they scored. And so I think it's got to be defense like that. I don't think it's going to be, hey, we're going to bring the house and we're going to shut them down on the edges. We're going to press cover them. I don't think it's going to be anything like that. But I do think that situationally they can do some things to help the team.
Yeah, Chuck, I don't think the defensive coordinator, he does a good job about not putting them in positions that they can't handle, or not asking them to do things that they can't do. That being said, Auburn, really, they had 2 players they're not very good. This Liberty offense is going to cause some problems for us, and I think you're exactly right. If we have to get some stops and don't let them hang around. That'd be the kind of the thing that I'd like to see Arkansas do this week.
Well, here's the thing I would like to see more than anything, Matt. I would like to see them become a good tackling team. You can't always overcome a lot of your deficiencies in certain areas. Sometimes you just get out-athleted, man. I mean, that's just how – sometimes sometimes the other guy across from you is just a little bit better than you are, or at least a better athlete than you are. But, you can still tackle well. You can still do things like that well. And I think that ball pursuit, as simple as it sounds, getting a lot of red hats to the ball. Those are simple things, and I know it doesn't sound like anything earth-shattering because it's not. But I think those are the things that if they can do, you can still reduce the number of big plays you give up if you tackle well. Doesn't mean you're not going to get burned on the edges every once in a while, but if you tackle well, you're going to reduce the number of big plays.
Let me touch briefly on the exhibition basketball game, which I didn't get my eyes on. I don't know anybody at Arkansas that did because it wasn't available.
I haven't seen it. I still haven't seen it.
Yeah, and so
don't want to.
Hey, I'm making no judgments on this game one way or the other, other than the idea that maybe this is a good thing. Nobody saw this game. I mean, it doesn't count at all. And, they're still pissed about the loss anyway. So usually when Arkansas, like under Muss, has dealt with a loss like that in the regular season, they've bounced back and played pretty well. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say, I'm not saying great they got crushed in Texas, but maybe it's a good thing.
Well, this is not Muss's first time around the block, and I would imagine he had an idea about what could happen, not necessarily what he thought would happen, but what could happen when you take a young team into a situation like that. If that had been a regular season game, we'd have talked about how they walked into a hornet's nest, which is basically what they did. And, they got whipped. And I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I know it's a teaching thing. And if they learn from it, it can be a good thing. You can turn it into a good thing. The bottom line is, and we all know this, is how does this team look when we get to February and March? We're going to analyze and overanalyze everything that happens between now and then because that's what we do. But when we get to February, when that calendar turns to February and we start moving toward March, and the good teams start playing well, I'll bet we're in the hunt. I'll bet this is a good team by then.
Yeah, I agree with you. What about this World Series going on tonight? We got a postponement last night. Who do you got tonight? Or will you be watching the World Series tonight, Chuck?
Well, yeah, I was actually going to settle in last night, pass out some candy, watch the World Series, and then they rained out the World Series. So Astros are the best team. I still have a hard time pulling for them after 2017, but I've always liked Dusty Baker. I think he's a good baseball man, and I think Houston's clearly the better team. Doesn't mean they'll win, but I think they're the better team.
I was getting with Phil. Who do you think it helps with as far as they get an extra day off, or do you think both teams are tired and both teams, it doesn't matter this deep into the season like this?
Well, it kind of helps Philadelphia's pitching if you go by what they're saying. They've got a 1-2 punch and they kind of hope after that. So maybe it helps them in that area, but. Man, I just think the best teams, over a 7-game series, rain out, whatever. The best team usually wins in a 7-game series, and I just think Houston's the best team.
I'm rooting for Dusty too, and there is something
game
about
7.
Well, yeah, that's right. I'm rooting for 7 games and an extra inning game. Although that might mean I end up missing, a game because of
I don't want to
see
a runner out at second base in the 10th inning in a World Series.
No,
maybe we've already seen it and I missed it, but
I don't think they're doing that in the postseason.
Okay.
Are they not? Okay,
yeah.
good.
And thank goodness for that. Thank goodness for that. All right, we'll leave it there, Chuck. I could go with you for 4 hours, but we only get you for 30 minutes. Appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thanks. Enjoyed it. See you.
All right. You got it. Yeah, that would be an awful look. It's like, Game 7, World Series, 10th inning. We've seen some classic. Remember that Indians-Cubs World Series? That one went to the 10th inning of the 7th game. Man, I was so excited about that. And you're not putting that Manfred man at second base in the playoffs.
I just want to see the right fielder come in and have to pitch one game, though. Like this in the words, like, man, we're out of pitchers. Let's bring him in. You'll see that every once in a while. Yeah.
Yeah, we go to the 27th inning here in Game 7 of the World Series. And coming in to pitch from left field is Kyle Schwarber. Oh, we would just love that.
They start pitching softballs. Yeah.
I think all these changes in Major League Baseball being instituted next year, I think eventually you're going to see that in college baseball, too. The games need to mirror each other. Wrapping out the first hour on halftime after this quick break.
What do you get when you pull into Tony's Tire Service? You get the best selection of tires for any car, truck, or commercial vehicle. Tony's Tire Service has Cooper tires and is ready to serve you to get you back on the road safely. They'll also get your vehicle fixed with brake replacements, plus an alignment with the best repair guy in the area. Tony's Tire Service has been serving the River Valley for over 34 years. Come let our guys replace your tires with Cooper tires and our service department to make sure the vehicle has the best brakes and alignments. Tony's Tire Service, 7200 South 28th Street in Fort Smith. Service you can depend on.
Norris Material and Supply Flooring Center now offers in-stock vinyl plank flooring starting at 89 cents per square foot. If you're a do-it-yourself kind of person, they have all the materials needed to lay your new flooring, or you can choose their professional installation. Whatever your choice, give them a call today to get a free same-day estimate. Financing available. For the best customer service from flooring to countertops, Norris Material and Supply Flooring Center is your local flooring professional. Check them out online at flooring.norrisms.com or on the corner of Wheeler and South Y, 479-289-7111. Hablamos Espanol.
Get the best value, service, and TV locally with personal service from WOW World of Wireless, your neighborhood professional Dish authorized retailer. Stop in and ask us about the Hopper 3, Dish's most advanced DVR that delivers a premium viewing experience. Tired of running out of DVR space? With the Hopper 3, you can record up to 2,000 hours of your favorite programming and watch your very own favorite channels and DVR recordings anywhere you go on your phone or tablet. Call now. WOW World of Wireless. 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474 for more details. Or online at shopwownow.com. World of Wireless is located at 601 Church Street in Barling next to Frank Rowe Furniture. That's 601 Church Street in Barling. Come see us at our new location.
Monthly equipment fees and other restrictions apply. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours based on SD programming. Remote viewing requires internet connection and compatible mobile device.
Hardee's new Charbroil Double Deals, starting at $2.99 each, have the Academy for New Offerings hailing this double cheeseburger deal as very new indeed. How much more new does it get than the new Bacon Double Cheeseburger and the new California Classic Double Cheeseburger? Not much newer than that. Well, I've got news for the Academy. After this, I'm getting myself a double cheeseburger from this new deal. The new Charbroiled Double Deal starting at $2.99 each at Hardee's. Feed your happy. Tax not included for a limited time. Price and participation may vary. Visit restaurant or app for details.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC is the River Valley's truck superstore. No one has a bigger selection of new and pre-owned trucks. If you need a regular cab work truck, Harry has them, and the biggest selection you'll find anywhere. Over 60 full-size pre-owned trucks are in stock now, and over 250 pre-owned vehicles are on the lot. And for the first time in 90 days, new trucks are on the ground. When the other dealers don't have it, Harry does. The area's truck superstore. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Chuck Barrett here. I know a thing or two about making great calls in Arkansas. And when it comes to your home service needs, make the call to Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Paschal offers plumbing services from simple drain repairs to running all new lines. And right now, you can replace your water heater with a professionally installed system from Paschal. Take $150 off a new traditional water heater or $300 off a tankless system. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Arkansas owned. Arkansas operated. Go Paschal.com.
Evans Body Shop is a family and woman-owned business started in 2006 with strong ties to our community and owners that truly care about our customer satisfaction. EBS is also an ICAR Gold Class certified, and our techs are trained on the most up-to-date repair processes and ready to work for you. We know you have a choice when it comes to choosing a body shop, and we are honored that our business has been built on repeat and referred customers. Call or come in today to see why people say
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Oh, I love the way you dance. Oh, how you move your feet. Oh, how you turn your head. How you look me in the eyes, my girl.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Guys, dangerous words just entered my email inbox. And you look, we'll just be honest about some of this. Everything in your spam folder is dangerous to begin with. This one hit my inbox, the usual inbox, and it says, flash sale of T-shirts at Ebbets Field Flannels going on today. $30 T-shirts are $15, and man, I thought I was going to save up money to buy the kids some good Hanukkah presents.
Sorry.
Kids are fending for yourself this year. Daddy needs more T-shirts.
Well, see, the thing is, Phil, you know you were going to buy the T-shirts anyways later, so if they're that price now, it's like you're actually losing money if you don't buy them.
Man, when you find a good fitting T-shirt, you got. I mean, that's it. If they make the style you like, what are you doing? $15 is a bargain.
You're a T-shirt guy too,
all
right?
day, every day. Yeah.
Maddie's a T-shirt. But
Yeah.
we could actually rename the show the T-shirt guys because that's three of us right here.
One of my favorite souvenirs to get is T-shirts.
I don't want to go
Anytime I
if
visit someplace
yeah.
or a concert, yeah.
Yeah, me and Maddie T
One
went
of
to
your
it,
T-shirts
and
is-
we got
yeah.
it up in the thing. Our
The
first
Smashing
date.
Pumpkins.
Yeah. That was. But if I don't want to go if I can't wear a T-shirt, like it's like why would I don't want? That's y'all are too fancy for me, man. Yeah.
Last time you wore a suit, Matt Jones.
Oh, I had to do that Arkansas Hall of Fame deal a few months. I mean,
You still have one put away for special occasions. I got a couple put away too. I can't tell you the last time I put the thing on.
You know, I bought these things 10, 12, 15 years ago. I'm just glad that I just wear it the same. I could,
and they still fit.
I've been the same about size. Yeah, I'm still 225. I don't know what else. I fluctuate 220, 230, but I'm the same size for the last 20 years. Yeah.
Is it more difficult tying a tie with all the beard hair underneath? I mean, it's tough to see your neck.
Dude, once you tie it, it's always loose. You don't ever really go for it.
You don't really untie it?
Yeah, it's like, what are we doing, man? You kind of roll up the sleeves already. You got the football belt in. You're wearing your Chuck Taylors with it. You know, you're like, what are we doing, really? You know,
Matt Travis, last time you wore a suit.
So there was some kind of it must have been around Christmas time last year, and actually I didn't have the proper clothes, so we just went to the Goodwill and picked out some cheap stuff because
nice.
I knew it was going to be so infrequent that I wore it again. So.
I know a guy that's probably going to need to be wearing a suit come February.
Oh gosh, so
you got that right. You're not showing up to your own
fitted?
wedding in a T-shirt, are you?
No, I can't.
You go get fitted already?
I haven't yet.
You got to go get. Yeah. And Phil, you talked about wearing a suit. I forgot a tie, and so I had to borrow one from my dad. You know, like that. I was like, how many? He's like, I brought 3, son. You know, it's like, yeah, got a tie.
I think
awesome.
I will have a little more leeway though, since we're getting married in the French Quarter of New Orleans. So
Dude, you're gonna eat so good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to.
I'm jealous.
But I'll have a little more.
That leaves you open to do a T-shirt tuxedo if you wanted to go in that direction. I mean, the French Quarter.
It's really all about the bride's beautiful
bolo
dress.
tie. Oh yeah, nobody's looking at you.
I was even thinking about suspenders.
Why not suspenders and bare chested? It is the French Quarter, man.
That's right. Yeah,
we're getting crazy. Let's
get
crazy.
One of those big tall drinks
and a hat. Yeah, bachelorette party. Yeah, we're all
Flash poll on halftime. Now that I got a flash sale from Ebbets Field Flannels. Last time you wore a suit, 877-377-6963. I know some athletes that are way into looking as good as they possibly can at every moment. I mean, look at how many NFL players.
Bill.
And the NBA guys have to show up looking like that. There's a dress code.
Bill, there are guys on the team. So here's what I bought: one suit and I wore it for all 4 years that I was, it was just a black suit, regular. There were guys on the team, $1,000 suits every single game. I mean, just
new $1,000 suit.
They would wear it one time and never wear it again. I mean, every single game. They're sick, but they look good, dude. Like they had it going on, man. Yeah, I was like, I can't afford that. You know, it's like,
and they just had those things hanging in the closet, right? They were just there.
Purple suits, orange suits, green suits, whatever. I mean, Steve Harvey just come back to life. I mean, it's like they raided his closet and just everybody had different. I mean, it's unreal. It was awesome.
And like the Penguin always says, we aim to please. Yeah. We're opening up the phones into the second hour, and Clay Henry joins us. 877-377-6963. It's a glorious Tuesday. I got a T-shirt and a pair of shorts on. I think I'm just going to go put on a suit for the next couple of hours here on halftime, just 'cause. We'll be right back.
Frank Rowe Furniture is your family-owned furniture, appliance, and electronics store. We have been servicing the area for 38 years with quality products and service after the sale. Frank Rowe Furniture offers a no-pressure sales atmosphere where you can actually enjoy shopping for your furniture. We also offer in-store, no-credit check financing. Don't wait weeks to be able to take your furniture you purchase home. Stop by and we will load you up today. Family-owned, service after the sale, and no-credit check financing. Frank Rowe Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. From general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics, Dr. Bo Sparkman and Dr. Brogan give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confidence, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Come on along, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush. Light beer.
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch, and Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Who's hungry, Fort Smith? Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. And this month, I'm serving up heaping helpings of deals on Rath road-ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. So right now, you could save up to $4,500 on a nicer, newer car, based on the price of the car you choose. It's our feast of savings, and these deals are all gravy, so if you're sick of your old ride, toss it like yesterday's leftovers. Come in today, and you can save up to $4,500. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with a free winter-ready inspection, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. So pull up a chair at my feast of savings, and you can save up to $4,500 on a nicer, newer car. But hurry, A deal this hot will cool down fast. Only in Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Partly to mostly sunny sky today. Our high this afternoon into the middle 70s. Tonight, mainly clear to partly cloudy. Overnight lows, upper 40s to near 50. Wednesday, right back to sunshine, 75. Thursday, sunny skies. Our high temperatures into the mid 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Good station.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Matt Jones may take it to the house and the dunk.
You said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Produced by Matt Travis.
Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Hold the rope! I'm putting my heart, dog. Let's go, man!
Probably as frustrated as I've been the first half.
Do we believe?
Second half, very happy.
Is vintage Matt Jones.
Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Hold the rope! 1, 2, 3! 1, 2, 3! Turn that down, beautiful! Hey!
Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
It's Tuesday. It's 12:01. And that means Clay Henry joins us on halftime for the foreseeable future. Good afternoon, Clay. How are you doing?
Hello. Beautiful day in Norfolk.
Well, great. Beautiful day across Arkansas, man. We're very lucky. We're very lucky. We get to talk with you. We talked with Chuck. I'm just surrounded by legends here on this radio program now. I can just sort of fade into the background.
I
and
like
say,
Tuesdays,
you guys
Phil.
take it.
Phil,
Tuesdays are easy.
I'm trying to figure it out a little bit. And Tuesdays are fun. You get Chuck, you're right, and then we get Clay for 2 hours. Fun day.
A lot less for us to worry about. That's right, and a little more wisdom on the other end of the phone or the Comrex. We're going to put it in those terms. Clay, Arkansas ends the tenure of Brian Harsin at Auburn. We knew this was going to happen at some point. What do you make of Hunter Yurachek saying no to Auburn, staying at Arkansas, signing the extension, and then the Tigers go out and get the Mississippi State athletics director? And I have a feeling like there were some other folks that they spoke to as well that said, nah, not my cup of tea.
You know, it's a good job in some respects, but they are dysfunctional. They're like that family that you look at and is like, man, I'm glad I'm not in that family. I don't know what happens on Thanksgiving and Christmas, but I'm glad I'm not there.
Is it kind of like always the little brother to Alabama deal?
There's not any doubt.
Yeah.
But it's also Georgia.
Yeah.
And Florida State. I mean, you just think where they're at. Yeah, it's not far to Tallahassee. I mean, it's an easy drive, and it's not, it's a short drive, to Atlanta, then north to Athens. Yeah, the idea that Georgia is winning national championships now, that grates on them too.
Well, and I didn't even think about that, but you're right. They're closer to Georgia than they are to Alabama, so it's like it's third cousin syndrome. But I did hear the term "little brother" thrown around quite a bit, and it was pretty evident and very much on display as it went through. So I mean, you're in a stable position. You knew this. Like I would have been surprised if Hunter Yurachek would have left Arkansas because. I mean, because of what he's built, really, and what you have to try to build over there at Auburn, which I just think. Look, I mean, even you look at they've got tradition playing for national championships, a lot of undefeated seasons. They've been to the national championship game twice in the last 12 years. But man, peaks and valleys, peaks and valleys, peaks and valleys, and we've experienced that too. Deeper valleys, I think. And it gives you a deeper appreciation for what it is that that you got now, which after 2 wins in a row, Clay, that means stability is back.
I think so, and you got your quarterback rolling, and that's the most important thing. When you watched Auburn, they're missing some pieces, but most importantly, they don't have that piece. And you don't have a quarterback, and everything else is magnified, all the other issues. And let's go back to coaches and athletic director, their positions. The most important thing, and we forget it, it is what's best for my family, and what does my wife want, what's best for my kids. And Hunter's got a son that's doing really well at Fayetteville High. I understand they love Fayetteville. Sam is in the same situation. His wife obviously loves Arkansas. They love their place on the lake. Now you can coach a lot of places and fly to Hot Springs, but those are the things that are really important. As much as the money is important, and money always is important. Don't get me wrong. But there are things that you think about when you're changing jobs, and family is right at the top of that list.
Matt, I want to ask you a question in pertaining to this sort of discussion. As an athlete, what does it mean anything to you when you look around? Well, you look around your position group and feel like everything's stable there. Then you feel the same way about your side of the ball. Then the team, and you can see that with the football program. And you look around the athletic department, and everything is going really in like the same direction. And then you look at what's happening in other places, and does it make it more difficult to be an athlete at that university when in that situation like Auburn, with the program where who knows who's going to be in charge of it in 4 weeks?
Yeah, it's definitely a different situation. And now the kids, I always thought when I was getting recruited, and this is 20 years ago, that if some of the coaches that were going through it, and you're looking around, if OU's Bob Stoops was there, when you're looking around, but if a coach was to leave, I always thought any player that he recruited should be able to leave, because you're going to these schools. A lot of these schools, 40%, 30% of the kids, they know they're going to this school. They know, like Arkansas guys, I know I'm going to Arkansas. But really, 60%, a lot of it is based on relationships. And at Arkansas, you have to go get kids out of Texas. You have to go get kids that aren't in-state guys. So you have to go recruit them. And then when your coach leaves and another coaching staff comes in, it's tough for these kids because it might be a different offense. It might be some guy that recruited you somewhere else that you don't like. Or didn't have that good relationship with. It's just a mess right now. I really don't know how to explain it, but it seems like the thing that you fall into that I don't like is like, oh, I'm not happy. It's like woe is me type thing. It's like you still got to work at it. I feel like they all have this easy out now where it's like, oh, but if your coach is still there, I don't think they should be able to just leave like that. But if your coach leaves, then yeah, you should be able to leave. But it seems now if they don't get playing time right away, or if they want a red shirt like Auburn was doing that, they're like, I'm just going somewhere else.
Let me put you in let me just quite honestly put it to like 22 years ago. And I know you played kind of earlier in Coach Nutt's tenure at Arkansas, but you built a real relationship with him, I think, through the recruiting process and then when you got to play for him. If he would have left Arkansas while you played there, whether it was to take another job or to, or if he was fired, would you have looked to move on to somewhere else, given the situation, if it was today's rules?
Yeah, that's a good point. I couldn't imagine playing for any other coach than Coach Nutt, and we do have a good relationship, and it's something that's pretty cool to know. What was that? I was 17, 18 years old, and we I don't know, we talk 3 or 4 times a year, so it's a good you'd want to go where he was going. Where are you going, Coach? Let's go play. I'd want to go play where he's going. Yeah, but so when I went to Arkansas, there's some kids in the state that there was no other school they were going to. They're just like, we're going. I wanted to have the recruiting process. I was close to going to OU or close to going somewhere else. But then talking to Coach Nutt and building that relationship, that is what put me over the edge and made me want to go play for the University of Arkansas, was because Coach Nutt was there.
Yeah. Well,
there's another
so many players
part
from
of
the
that
Auburn
equation.
recruiting class that are gone because they signed on to play, I think, for Malzahn in some cases, which was. So now they're going to be on a third coach.
That's tough, Phil, because I had a quarterback coach change my second year, third year, David Lee and Roy Wicke, and it's a process of and we're all running the same plays, it's just different terminology. But it was, you got to kind of build that relationship. You have a relationship with Coach Lee, and then you end up having a relationship with Coach Wicke, and had both great relationships. It's just, it's not the guy that recruited you. It's a little change. It's a little different.
There's another piece to the puzzle, so to speak, and we talk about there's some kids that are strong enough they do what they want to do, but then there's some others that, and I know this for a fact. I've talked to I do those where are they nows and talk to players about what was going on back in the day, and there are players that they get frustrated after a year or two and it's like, I'm leaving. Well, then they call home and they talk to mom or dad or grandma or whoever is the kingpin there, and they're like, no, you're not. You're not. Or if you're leaving there, you're coming home and you're working in the fields, or this or that. You're going to stay right there. That's where God put you, and you're going to stay. And I've heard that so many times. But then there's other situations where as soon as you feel that discomfort and you go and they're like, well, yeah, get out of there. And
if it's a bad vibe, I think it's situational, Clay. I think you're right on. I mean, it's just because it gets a little tough, though, doesn't mean that it's a bad vibe. That's all I was trying to say.
Yeah, no, and I mean, but there are some rock solid parents that are just like, you just stay right there.
That's how my folks were when we started something. It was, you're going to finish it for that year. I mean, that's what you're doing. Yeah,
and it was beyond firm, wasn't it, Matt?
That's just what it was. That's just there wasn't. You really didn't get to question it. That's just how it was.
Hey guys, we got Charlie on hold. Let's take that call. 877-377-6963 if you want to get on with Matt Jones and Clay Henry. And we got Charlie. What's up, Tuna?
What's going on? It's the legends that you talk about, Phil. I mean, just like you said, I'm on the phone right here with a bunch of legends. Got Matty T, Matt Jones, Clay Henry, and you. That's 4 legends in my book.
It's a good Tuesday, isn't it?
I'm
just fun Tuesday.
I'm just going to do the Homer Simpson fade into the hedges.
I feel you. Like it's hard for me to, because I feel like I got to bring it. And if I say something stupid, I'm gonna, when I hang up and be like, why did I say that? Or something like that. But how many guys called in yesterday? I know we're talking about football, but how many guys called in yesterday or texted in, Phil, and were losing their mind over the exhibition game Saturday?
Well, we didn't really bring the exhibition game up very much yesterday, so no one had the opportunity to really do that. I haven't had the sense, Charlie, that anybody is like jumping ship, and if they were, like, God, come on, we tell you not to be like that in December or even early January because this team has been so good under Muss at turning things around when things aren't going well. It's like October, come on.
I just wanted to make sure because I didn't really pay attention yesterday because the Tuna was in an important meeting. I don't know why they keep including me in these things, but I might start asking. I must have to start
you got phone calls to make at 12 noon Monday through Friday. That's more important.
Halftime. I mean, that's much more important than my job. I agree. I've tried to tell them that, but they don't listen. Also, you guys are talking about Auburn. My question is this, because I know Gus was there, and I know he went through this. When you're, I guess, the little brother to Alabama or whatever you want to call it, let me ask you this about, fan and media expectations, because I think a lot of times that comes into play here. Let's be honest. Gus was not bad there, but it's like they think that they should be 11-1, 12-0 every year. And it's insane to me. I've even heard this from Bama fans now. It's like, dear God, if Nick Saban loses a game during the year, you hear it on their radio, fire Nick Saban. I mean, it makes no sense to me. Like some fans and, media's response to that, because God, I'd be really happy if Arkansas was, 9-3, 10-2, 11. Give me that all day. But I do get it, because at some point, it's like this year, fans were so, we wanted such expectations, for this football team. I think there were a lot of fans out there, even myself, who, wanted them to, do better. But, sometimes things just don't work out that way. And injuries played a big part this year, but it's a grueling schedule. It's a grueling SEC schedule. Phil, correct me if I'm wrong, their basketball, their baseball team, every other program's doing pretty well, right? At Auburn?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. So I get it to, football-wise right now, it's probably it's a tough job, but,
and they might be a Bo Nix away. I mean, last year if they had a quarterback there, they would have 2 more wins. They're just they are such a mess right now.
Yeah, they are, and the football-wise. But I'll say this, and it's all about, I don't think Ryan Harson's a bad coach. Personally, I mean, I could be wrong, but I think maybe just some bad things happened and it didn't work out for him. Hopefully, he gets another chance. I do want to touch on this Liberty game real quick before I go. How long is it before Hugh Freeze gets another opportunity, not necessarily to be a Power 5 head coach, because I've always been a fan of his. I know he made the mistake at Ole Miss or whatever, and it was stupid. But, eventually you got to give a guy a second chance. How long do you guys think before he gets back, in this league or somewhere, either calling plays or head coaching in the SEC? Anyways, guys, I appreciate it. I don't think I'm listening.
Well, part of this is it's not just like he made a mistake. 15 level 1 violations on top of, whatever the text messages he was sending out to the ladies of the night. So, I mean, I don't know if it's just like a mistake. And look, we can be forgiving and everything like that. I don't know of any other coach who's been softly blackballed in the SEC to the point where people are writing about, is this a thing? Is it really blackballed? Can you not coach in this league?
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of there's a lot of morality police or whatever you want to do. How do you want to look another person in the eye? How do you go in there and tell the kid's mama and like Clay was saying, the kingpin, whoever it is of the family, you're going to watch over their baby. So it's tough, but there's no question the dude can coach. He's a football coach, and I think you show contrition and you make the steps to do the right thing, that he'll be a Power 5 coach, and probably look, Liberty just gave him a $5 million raise. I mean, he's a real deal coach.
Well, he's built an impressive program as an independent, coming up from literally nothing, to being, right now, they're the best independent team in college football, just going by their record. Notre Dame probably has the more talent, but after what they did to BYU last week, or 2 weeks ago, they are the best independent team in college football. Not going to be independent much longer. And we're not going to continue on this segment for that much longer because we've got to step aside and pay some bills on halftime.
I would just say that it makes a lot of sense that Auburn would go after him. If they don't, then you begin to wonder.
I like Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys, but you're right. We'll talk about it.
Well, we'll wonder if he's going to leave, if he leaves the NFL, but I'm sure they're going to do some due diligence and cast a pretty wide net. I think they had to cast a wide net for the athletics director position and ended up going to a school that's not all that far away, via vehicle.
Kellen Moore's Boise ties. Do you want another Boise guy?
Good point.
I think he's an offensive guy. I don't know.
Oh, I'm joking. Yeah. I'm joking, man. But that's the way Auburn thinks. Yeah.
Might as well bring in another former Arkansas State coach. They've got all these connections.
Butch Jones, yeah.
You get Rhett Lashley there. There's your Gus Malzahn.
There's another one for you. All right, we're going to step aside here on halftime. We want to get on the air with a call or a text. It's 877-377-6963. And coming up, it is Name That Hog, presented by Alumni Hall. We'll give away a $25 gift card to who can answer the trivia question correctly, and that's after this.
Did she ever say a prayer for me? Oh, 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 come out, Virginia, don't let me wait. You Catholic girls start much too late. Sooner or later it comes down to fate. I might as well be the one. You know that only the good die young.
You're listening to Toyota Tuesday. Stop by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey, this is Chuck Barrett, inviting you to join me for the Gimme the Hogs Chuck podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Brought to you by Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. I'm excited about it. You can listen to it at hitthatline.com or wherever you follow your favorite podcasts. We'll talk about the Razorbacks. You'll get my take on what's happening in the world of sports. That's the Gimme the Hogs Chuck podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Brought to you by Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company at hitthatline.com or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
For those near Bullfrog Valley, west of Dover, all the way up to Booger Holler, the Wave Rural Connect Piney Zone is now open for orders. Get fast fiber internet up to a gigabyte for just $79.95. Installation is free on the Piney Zone until January 5th, 2023. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Ace is a place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Jaeger's Ace is your place for hot savings on DeWalt 20-volt brushless bare tools for fall cleanup. DeWalt blower only $129 with your Ace Rewards card. Or choose a 10-inch pole saw, only $149 with your Ace Rewards card. Need something bigger? Get the DeWalt 12-inch chainsaw for only $169 with your Ace Rewards card. Hurry into Jaeger's Hardware. This offer ends October 31st.
Ace is a place with the helpful hardware, folks.
This is Abby with Davis Floor Covering. Get your home or office looking its best for this football season with new flooring from Davis Floor Covering. Whether it's new carpet, hardwood flooring, ceramic, porcelain tile, or luxury vinyl planks, Davis Floor Covering can help you with all your flooring needs with brands such as Bow Floors and flooring supplies from Maupe. And let's get started on beautifying your office or home. We even do countertops. Be sure to check us out on Facebook. Davis Floor Covering with 3 locations to serve you: Fort Smith, Springdale, and Tahlequah. Call 452-4808.
Finding that missing shin guard, remembering whether it's a home or away game, getting the right kid to the right playing field on the right day. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple so you can worry about more important things, like not being that fan.
Oh, come on, ref!
That's simple human sense.
Visit the Charles Osborne Agency in Greenwood or call them at 996-2129. What do you get when you pull into Tony's Tire Service? You get the best selection of tires for any car, truck, or commercial vehicle. Tony's Tire Service has Cooper tires and is ready to serve you to get you back on the road safely. They'll also get your vehicle fixed with brake replacements plus an alignment with the best repair guy in the area. Tony's Tire Service has been serving the River Valley for over 34 years. Come let our guys replace your tires with Cooper tires and our service department to make sure the vehicle has the best brakes and alignments. Tony's Tire Service, 7200 South 28th Street in Fort Smith. Service you can depend on.
We've invented a new messaging system using the crisp sounds of Bud Light. Crisp Code, Lesson 86. This is how you say, gee willikers, it's a hot one. Let's cool down with some Bud Lights. And that's it for today. Bud Light, crisp.
Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hell is a big enough problem on its own. Good Thing Dent Source, LLC is on the job, specializing in auto hail repair from personal vehicles to large fleet. Dent Source, LLC makes customers smile, one vehicle at a time. High insurance deductible? No problem. Dent Source, LLC will pay your deductible. Need a loaner vehicle during repair? No problem. Dent Source, LLC has free loaner vehicles. Stop by 2820 South 0 Street, across from Play It Again Sports, or call 479-337-4443. That's 479-337-4443. Dent Source LLC. No problem.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, City!
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
This just in for NBA fans. We have our first firing of the NBA season. Nash fired by the Brooklyn Nets as head coach. A little more than 2 seasons plus. Yeah.
What? I'm a Steve Nash fan. Yeah, what in the world?
I got to be honest. I wouldn't want to be anywhere near Kyrie Irving right now. So as far as this, if I was Steve Nash, be
Martin
like,
Luther
good.
King
Let me
Irving.
get away from here, please.
Isn't that what Durant called him? He said, "I'm playing with," and then who was this other guy that can't shoot? He's like, "I'm playing with this guy that can't shoot," and then you got It's like, guys, let's go play basketball, right? Like Durant's he wants to play basketball. That's what he wants to do. Kyrie wants to do other things. You know, it's like
Kyrie's not really into basketball very much. It's too bad.
And
you don't count the Boston coach being having to sit out as being fired, right?
Well, he just messed around with the wrong white girl.
Yeah,
that was
but
just
he's not
all.
gonna.
He messed with somebody else's baby. Yeah, that's just kind of his fault. Those be the rules, man.
But
that happened before the season started.
If Boston has a good year, he ain't coming back.
Well, so you got it. Who's their GM there? It's the guy from Butler. He's running the show there. He's been running it.
Brad Stevens.
Yeah, he's running everything. Brad Stevens runs everything there. So I don't think that's his job still.
You see, this has happened twice with Boston professional teams recently because remember they hired Alex Cora to be their manager, and then Cora was kicked out, was fired because of his connection to the Astros cheating scheme.
Oh.
And now this goes down. It's a whole other situation, and it wasn't anything mandated by the league. But anyway, that's some Boston stuff. We got Arkansas stuff here.
He's a Miami guy too, right? With A-Rod, A-Rod was like a third-team All-State quarterback coming out in that Miami baseball. Was Cora a Miami guy too?
That's right. His brother Alex.
Yep, maybe that's who I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Well, both of them are. Both of them are Miami guys. Absolutely. Yeah. And he's ended up, getting hired there anyway. So let's go figure. All right, it's time for Name That Hog. You want to get out your phones and get the text line ready, 877-377-6963. We're giving away a $25 gift card to Alumni Hall in Fayetteville. It's on College right next to the Whole Foods. And in order to win it, you got to name that hog. So here's what we've got for you. We're gonna layer this. We've got a little more than it. We have 1, 2, 3. We've got 6 clues. We've got an Antonio Alfonseca handful of clues for you.
If you get it on the first clue, you get the whole 25. But we're going to reduce the pot as we go down, right?
I was kind of looking at these clues. I was trying to think of some stuff that's not on there, but I don't want to give it away.
You're really good at coming up with the other things that aren't on the rundown that help key some of this. You helped out with Richard Smith a lot last week because I think you would know Richard Smith quite well.
Just don't say the name.
Just don't say the name. The first clue. Now, really, this clue ought to help a little bit because there aren't a lot of Razorback greats. And really, when you're doing a Name That Hog kind of a thing, he's got to be a great. You can't just be like, this guy played here a little bit. This is
he's
one of
a
the
stud.
greats.
He's a stud, man. Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
But not a lot of Razorbacks come from this part of the country. So the first clue is, I'm from Big Ten country. Keep in mind, the Big Ten is coast to coast.
That narrows it down.
Yeah, the Big Ten, though, Clay, is coast to coast. I got
it.
It's New Jersey to California now.
You tried to soften the clue.
It's this would be more of the older Big Ten, pre-Maryland, pre-New Jersey, and USC and UCLA aren't even in the league anyway. So it's more from that footprint that we envision.
Back when Chuck Long Long was a quarterback, the Big 8.
Yeah, there's 100 million people in the Big Ten country, so we're loosening it up a little.
We already have somebody that texted in the right answer here.
Oh no!
Yeah, and there's the second one that just came in too. Did this guy win the last one? I think the guy who sent us the correct answer won this the first time. And then he sent in a whole nother question, a whole nother answer, which is incorrect.
He's just throwing it out the door.
Oh, in other words, he guesses 2?
You can guess as many as you want.
Oh.
All right, so I'm going to go. Here's another. We'll keep going with some of the
Ask
clues.
him if he
here.
wants which answer he wants us to consider, first or second. There you go.
Well, he's already been disqualified because he won the last time.
Okay.
I think that's Mark McIntyre that won it the last time.
He definitely was. He's
quick on the trigger though, Mark. Man, I mean, ducks beware. Wow.
Offensive lineman. We don't have to say he played multiple positions on the offensive line. That kind of give it away. I mean, I guess they already got it, huh?
I remember sitting across from him at the Catfish Hole at the coach's show, and this was when he had an injured knee and was out for the remainder of the season. And, of course, at the Catfish Hole, what did he order? The steak. It was huge. I mean, the thing was gigantic. It was falling off the plate. You know how big that thing is,
my
man.
goodness. You can't even walk after you get done eating there.
And he ate the whole damn
guy
thing.
has the same hobby as me.
Fishing?
Yes.
Eating steaks? Is that okay?
No,
I don't know if that was the
I like
hobby
that.
Yeah.
What's the last good steak you had? You know, I was thinking like we went out, had a good steak somewhere. I mean,
made one a couple days ago, my friend.
Made one on the grill, right? Yeah.
And then I helped another friend learn how to grill it on a cast iron skillet because the grill had broken. So it works well in the cast iron skillet. So outside still?
You're grilling it outside?
No,
you're inside?
No. On because the grill breaks, you just do it on your stovetop and then finish it in the oven. Yeah.
Never
How
done
do you
that.
eat your steak?
Never done that. Yeah.
Well,
So
there
it
you go.
works,
I'm teaching you. I'm teaching
Kind
you.
of like going to Herman's.
You learned something today.
Herman's, they're cooking it on the grill top, on the flat top at Herman's.
Emerald coming up next on Halftime, your favorite place for cooking show stuff.
Bill, remember when we went to Doe's Eat Place and then your car died on the way back to Fayetteville?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
But at least you had a good steak in your stomach.
That's what I've always said. If I got to stand on the side of a highway on a giant bridge for an hour and a half, I might as well have a stomach filled with steak. I've been saying that for years.
You should get it on a T-shirt.
Jeremiah in Cedarville is our winner. And so the other clues here, my dunking ability lives on in cyberspace. I don't remember the dunk.
Oh yeah, he took off from about half court on a fast break and dunked it, and that was on all the YouTube stuff.
Like when he was in high school?
Yeah. He was a basketball player in high school, and he loves
he's
basketball.
He's a 6'3" guy, right? Like he's a taller 6'4".
Oh, he might be 6'4".
That's what I mean. Yeah, he's a taller guy.
But he was slender in high school and had more hops.
603 snaps in the offensive line and never allowed a sack. I play for the Detroit Lions. And you're not throwing in the other aspect that I wish I played for somebody else now. Frank Ragnow is the answer.
Yeah.
Well done.
Best name on old school. Yeah.
Jeremiah in Cedarville is our winner. Congratulations for that. That's right. Woo-woo. We'll get your information on the text line, and then Jeremiah can just pick up your Alumni Hall gift card right there at the store next to Whole Foods Cafe on College in Fayetteville.
Congratulations. Very nice.
So we're doing this every Tuesday, is that right?
This is going to be an every Tuesday thing. That's right.
Okay.
We're just giving away money.
I gave you 4 of these.
Just like Sterling, yeah.
Did all of them make the cut?
Yeah, they're all great. Clay, if you send me something that's like a Razorback trivia contest thing, like, do you really think I have any power to say, no, this isn't any good?
No, but, I mean, you
We'll use it
can
next
cut
week,
them.
yeah.
You can cut them, yeah. And if I thought about.
Are we going to do all football players too? We're going to do some maybe because it's
I
football
will do
season.
some other
Then
sports.
basketball will kind of keep it going. Yeah,
I thought of some golf ones. I thought of some basketball. But we're in football season right now. But yeah, I can do other sports.
I'm still
track.
totally blown away that you're asking.
They got to be
if they
stars,
made the cut.
though.
Clay, you're a veritable trivial pursuit of Razorback history and trivia.
You're my first call. Yeah, you're my lifeline.
Have you ever thought of building a Razorback trivial pursuit game? Because we got customers who would line up for that thing.
I hadn't thought of that. No.
Well, now you have.
I'll
take
25%.
You're welcome.
I did like a 50 questions. It was like a slow day at Hogs Illustrated on our message board. I did 50, like a 50. And there was one guy that was really upset because he didn't get all 50 right. And he questioned me on one of them whether he thought I was right or wrong. And I was like, well, you're disqualified. In fact, I might ban you just for questioning me.
I like it. These be the rules.
Off with his head.
I like it.
Do not question the king of Razorback trivia.
I mean, I was joking.
It's brought to you by Alumni Hall in Fayetteville. You're probably already game ready, but even if you are, get out there to Alumni Hall, your ultimate shopping experience. They've got the best and the largest selection of apparel for the whole family. Nike, Nike Golf, Champion, Columbia, plus gifts, accessories, and all your tailgating necessities. Arkansas students, faculty, and military, you'll get 10% off in-store, and you can all earn cash back with a Hall Pass rewards card. Alumni Hall, located at North College Avenue, or anytime at alumnihall.com. Check out their latest giveaways on social and alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall, where Razorback fans shop. All right, phone lines back open now. Spencer already wants a Razorback Trivial Pursuit game, and the Christmas theme has already begun here. Get your gifts. Get your favorite Razorback fan something that's not even quite made yet. But we'll work on that, and we'll come back with more halftime after a break.
But I ain't a turning back to living that old life no more. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel.
You're listening to Toyota Tuesday. Stop by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places.
Joe Klein here for Bet Saracen, Arkansas's favorite sports betting app.
You bet it is, Joe, and football is in the air, which means Bet Saracen has everything you're looking for and more right there on your cell phone.
Now everyone can get in the game and follow your favorite team.
And that's right on the money. If putting down a little wager makes your favorite game a little more exciting, we'll go to the app stores and download Bet Saracen. We even got a demo video to show you how to play.
Or find it at betsaracen.com.
Cooler weather is on the way. Is your heating system ready? Let Ashley Air get your home ready with their $69 fall tune-up special. Ashley Air's trained technicians will check your system and make certain it's heating your home efficiently. It's just part of Ashley Air's 100% satisfaction guarantee. On game day, call the Hogs. When your heat needs repaired, call Ashley Air. Get your $69 fall tune-up now. Just go to ashley.air.com to schedule your tune-up. That's ashley.air.com. Proud sponsors of Razorback Athletics.
United Hail Pros is your one-stop shop auto body repair shop, specializing in paintless dent repair. Locally owned and operated, zero out-of-pocket with free car rental from Enterprise, with a lifetime warranty. Got hail damage? Don't delay. Call United Hail Pros yesterday. 479-309-3998. That's 479-309-3998.
Christina Katsavis is running for Fort Smith City Director at Large, position 5. And if you live in Fort Smith city limits, you can vote in the August 9th citywide Board of Directors election. Christina is a small business owner, wife, mother, volunteer, and community leader. All regular polling places will be open from 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday. A vote for Christina is a vote for your voice. Vote Christina Katsavis for Fort Smith City Director at Large, position 5. Ad paid for by Christina Katsavis campaign.
Chuck Barrett here. I know a thing or two about making great calls in Arkansas. And when it comes to your home service needs, make the call to Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Paschal offers plumbing services from simple drain repairs to running all new lines. And right now, you can replace your water heater with a professionally installed system from Paschal. Take $150 off a new traditional water heater or $300 off a tankless system. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Arkansas owned. Arkansas operated. GoPaschal.com.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC is the River Valley's truck superstore. No one has a bigger selection of new and pre-owned trucks. If you need a regular cab work truck, Harry has them, and the biggest selection you'll find anywhere. Over 60 full-size pre-owned trucks are in stock now, and over 250 pre-owned vehicles are on the lot. And for the first time in 90 days, new trucks are on the ground. When the other dealers don't have it, Harry does. The area's truck superstore, Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Frank Rowe Furniture is your family-owned furniture, appliance, and electronics store. We have been servicing the area for 38 years with quality products and service after the sale. Frank Rowe Furniture offers a no-pressure sales atmosphere where you can actually enjoy shopping for your furniture. We also offer in-store, no-credit check financing. Don't wait weeks to be able to take your furniture you purchase home. Stop by and we will load you up today. Family-owned, service after the sale, and no-credit check financing. Frank Rowe Furniture, 405 4th Street, Marlin, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
In this dirty old part of the city where the sun refused to shine, people tell me there ain't no use in trying. Now, my girl, you're so young and pretty, and one thing I know is true: you'll be dead before your time is due. I know. Watch my daddy in bed and crying. Watch his hair been turning gray. He's been working and slaving his life away.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
I love that song. I kind of wondered. Yeah, get out of that place. Get out of Auburn right now.
That's it.
Arson. That's what that's all about. Got Clay Henry with us here. And Clay brought up an interesting question. Arkansas could be bowl eligible with a win over Liberty on Saturday. So will we see a Larry the Bowling Ball appearance?
Got to.
I mean, if you did it one year, you got to do it the next year, right?
What do you mean? What happened?
Okay, when they became bowl eligible last year, Sam sent his wife to the bowling alley and brought a bowling ball, and he rolled it down the middle of the locker room. Said, it's Larry the Bowling Ball. Introduced himself.
Cute. Yeah,
and then he started making
game, right? Yeah,
he started making I'm giving him like the bowling ball is a gender.
It's like Wilson, the volleyball, right? In Tom Hanks, it's
yes,
yeah, okay.
That's right.
Wilson.
Yeah, except it didn't get lost at sea because a bowling ball. But it went on all of the social media posts. It became
went on the road trips. I think
it became a mascot for the team.
Okay,
an inanimate object mascot with 3 holes to stick your fingers in and roll down a bowling alley. Lots of fun. No bumpers, by the way, either. So Matt, you used a bumper bowling analogy.
You might have to cosmic bowling. You just never know the group you're going with. You want safety first. Yeah,
that's right. Robert in Fort Smith has given us a call, and then he hung up. All right, so never mind. He called up. He said he had something, and then he went somewhere else. He's gone, so forget about it. All right, I wanted to ask you about this because, Matt, I'd asked you about what it's like to play for. Well, I don't think you played for a program where it ever felt like the foundations were tumbling under your feet, but you did play in Nolan's last year, right?
That was a weird. That was a weird deal because we were sitting on the bus when that's going on. So it's before social media.
Kentucky.
Yeah. It was Mississippi State, I believe.
Oh, okay, yeah.
In Starksville, but we were sitting on the bus. And everybody's on the bus for at least an hour, like everybody. And you're just like, you don't have social media then. Like we had the flip phones, you didn't know what was going on. So I had no idea until I got home, and I didn't go home and flip on SportsCenter or anything. You're a college kid. It's late. I'm getting home. I got class the next day. And so I didn't even know anything that was going on until like 24 hours later, that was wild.
But did you feel like, I vaguely remember because I lived in Arkansas at that time. I had just moved to the state. I think it was a year or two after I'd moved to Arkansas, and I knew Nolan as the national champion in 1994. Right. And that was one of the ways that I viewed Arkansas as an outsider was from that basketball team. And I didn't realize, the forces that were at play, the personalities that, were kind of against each other at that point. Did you have a feeling that could have happened as the season went along?
Oh, no, you didn't. Looking back at it now, you do see some of that. But Phil, to your point, man, you got to remember me growing up. That's when you had the 40 Minutes of Hell and rolling with Nolan. That's my junior high days. Watching the Fad Five in Michigan, watching Corliss and Corey Beck and Clint McDaniel, Pat Bradley. I mean, that's Kareem Reed. I mean, you go down the list. That's when I was growing up there, and so nothing but respect. I saw Nolan the same way, like he was this legendary, and he always had the best cowboy boots.
Best cowboy boots,
yeah. Well, so then what? I mean, Mac Anderson takes over at that point. I'm just trying to get in the mindset of an athlete like an Auburn football player that now has one of their isn't it Carnell Williams that is the interim head coach?
Is that Cadillac Williams?
Cadillac Williams.
Wow, okay.
Started his coaching career, by the way, at Henderson State. He was a running backs coach there for one of the seasons I did play-by-play for them. I was thinking to myself, really, this is amazing. Now he's an interim head coach. But that's a tough job, man, to be an interim head coach, especially after it's different comparing Brian Harsin and Nolan Richardson. With Nolan, at least, he had his top lieutenant that took over. And I remember the team kind of played pretty well after that.
We did. We had a couple games after that, and then I think Mike he didn't get the job, and he had to go. Was that Clay? Did he go UAB and then
Correct.
Missouri? Yeah. And then he came back and ended up doing it. And I think that at that time they just wanted to distance themselves away from it. It seemed like that they just didn't want anything. And now everybody's friends again, right? Like it's Nolan Richardson Court and. Everybody's happy, I think.
Took us a few years to get there, but they got there.
I talked to Nolan Saturday for about 90 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm doing a story for Hogs Illustrated on Clint McDaniel, and there's a famous picture, and I know it's front and center in Nolan's room. It shows Clint with his hand over a guy's face, and I don't mean 2 inches away. It's on his face, covering his eyes. And it's Nolan's favorite picture because he always says, don't let your man see the next pass. In other words, take his vision away. And, Clint did that.
He's one of the best defensive guards. You want to talk about Razorback legends. You want a defensive guard, Clint McDaniel, he's on the top 5 short list, I'd have to say.
He had 104 steals in one season. 104.
He's him, and then you had Corey Beck would just muscle you a little bit and take charges, and Clint McDaniel's just a theft. I mean, he was a thief, that's for sure.
Yeah. I saw Clint. He played in high school at Booker T in Tulsa, and I saw him play as a 10th grader, and you knew that he was going to be a great player.
Yeah.
Now he didn't care anything about defense then, but he was scoring 20 points a game as a 10th grader. But it's really amazing to think how good those guards were, Corey and Clint. And you're right, they were. And I'm going to do something on Alex Dillard coming up. And poor Alex, he had to go out to practice. And one day Corey would cover him. And then the next day,
why do you
Clint
think he had so
him.
much range? He had to shoot from out there.
He didn't get a shot off in practice, not against those guys. And Clint told him, he says, "I'm punishing you today. I'm punishing you."
All right, guys, we're right up against the break here, so I'll punish you with some commercials here for just a moment, and remind you that when Arkansas plays Liberty Saturday, 3:00, we get on the air at 10:00 with Arkansas on Game Day, Learfield pregame noon. 3:00 kick. It's on SEC Network and right here on ESPN Arkansas. And if you aren't able to be in the stadium, get over to Joe's Grill and Cantina for half-price apps and half-price taps during the game. Today, by the way, is Taco Tuesday at Joe's Grill and Cantina. That's right. It's your favorite day. $1 crispy tacos all day long. $2.95 for the pork carnita tacos, and it's $3.95 for any brisket or pork belly tacos. $3.25 for a craft drink at Joe's Grill and Cantina. And, of course, half-price apps, half-price beers during any Razorback televised game. Joe's Grill and Cantina. Watch sports, enjoy yourself at 3400 South 74th in Fort Smith across from Harps, Tuesday through Saturday, and halftime back after this.
As we prepare for winter, Americans are concerned about heating their homes, gas prices, food costs, and our future. That's why I'm fighting for more American energy, better jobs, and to fix the mess in Washington. Developing our own resources means more jobs, a stronger economy, a cleaner environment, and more security. Working together, we can rebuild this great country we call America. I'm Congressman Bruce Westerman, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Westerman for Congress.
Tommy Kraft for the Fence Man. If you've always wanted powered automatic gates at your home or business, but you didn't know who to call, let me tell you about the Fence Man. 479-782-3936. The Fence Man does it all. Custom wrought iron installations, automatic gates, even controlled access systems, and lots more. Ask about 18-month, same as cash financing with approved credit. For your custom fence and gate needs, call the Fence Man. 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
Hanging out with my buddy Andrew Brown at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. You know, we've talked a little bit about the GT 350 and the other new Mustang on the showroom floor. Let's talk a little bit about the Bronco Sport and also the Raptor. You guys have such a good-looking showroom that it's unbelievable. And if somebody's wanting to test drive one of these, all they have to do is come by.
Dude, absolutely. So they're all on the showroom. They're absolutely gorgeous. You got the Velocity Blue, Bronco Sports, the Big Ben package, and then of course you have that beautiful orange with the Raptor. I mean, it's all the colors are out here. I mean, I'm colorblind myself, but guess what? I can still see those colors.
You know, it's absolutely gorgeous. That Raptor is beautiful. So if somebody's in the market, they're looking for something to go fast or something to get out and play in the mud, you guys have it at Randall. All they have to do is just come by and ask for Andrew Brown.
Dude, absolutely, and we'll get them out for you, too.
There you go. Come by and see us. We're at 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, or check us out online at randallford.com.
Flu season is here, and Law's Drug Store in Fort Smith has flu shots available now to safely care for you and your family. Law's Drug Store still has COVID vaccinations and boosters available for ages 5 and up, as well as shingles, pneumonia, and whooping cough vaccines. Call 452-6116 to schedule your flu or vaccine shot appointment, or stop by Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug Store opens 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Building a home can be stressful. This is true whether you're the homeowner or the contractor. Many times these issues result in a lawsuit. If you are a homeowner or a contractor and find yourself needing legal help, call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partner. With experience representing homeowners as well as non-payment or other issues that could arise during construction. Contact Brad Hull or Kevin Hickey at 479-434-2414 in the River Valley, or 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas. Or check them out on the web at artriallawyers.com.
Summer is here. Art's Barbecue and Burgers has everything you need for your next picnic, trip to the lake, and outdoor fun this summer. Smoked ham and turkey are perfect for sandwiches at your picnic. Take Art's brisket, ribs, and pulled pork to your next lake trip. And every Saturday at Art's, every thick and juicy burger is $1 off. Art's Barbecue and Burgers, the best barbecue and burgers in town. Rogers Avenue next to Buddy's in Fort Smith, or call ahead at 452-2550 at Art's Barbecue and Burgers.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Give them a call or send them a text at 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
There's a couple of items to mention to you. He's told you Steve Nash has been fired as the Brooklyn Nets head coach. Of course, you got the NFL trading deadline approaching. What is it, 3 o'clock Central today? And a couple of trades have come through. Chase Claypool apparently is headed from the Steelers to the Bears. It's an interesting trade there. And T.J. Hawkinson, tight end from the Lions, is on his way to Minnesota. So an in-division trade there. 877-377-6963. Number 9, Arkansas soccer opens postseason play tonight. It'll be on SEC Network against Vanderbilt, 7:30. And a number of Razorbacks named to all SEC teams yesterday. Anna Potagil is all SEC first team. Ava Tankersley, B. Franklin, Ellie Potagil, and Grace Barbara are on the second team. Ella Riley, Mackenzie Malham are all freshmen. And this big Tennessee-Georgia game, Georgia has lost their top pass rusher, Nolan Smith, to a torn pec muscle. It's the same injury that did T.J. Watt in for a while. Watt's not done for the season, but this is November, so a pec muscle means he's finished for now. 3 sacks, 7 tackles for a loss, 16 quarterback hurries. Guys, those are all top numbers. He led Georgia in those categories. So I don't know who's backing up behind Nolan Smith, but Georgia just lost.
He is a stud.
One of the reasons they're number one. It's right there.
He is a stud.
When I think defensive linemen over the last decade, I think Clemson, I think Georgia, I think they'll be okay. I think they I wonder who their backups are, but they just seem every year. Like Ole Miss, I have one. So LSU has a couple of them too, but Clemson, Georgia, I mean, they're just rushing the Alabama, they got them. They like we do running backs. Like Arkansas does running backs, they do D linemen.
I'll never forget being on the college football writers All-America Selection Committee, and we're going over the defensive linemen that are nominated by their schools, and the SIDs send you the list. That particular year, Clemson nominated four
right,
for first-team All-America. Their whole defensive line was like
just their backups. The road they're bringing in an All-American. Yeah, it's like what in the world?
You know, Christian Wilkins made it, but you know the SID was like, well, these other 3 are just as good, and I mean they all went in the first round or you know, pretty close to the first round. Maybe one of them wasn't that year; it was the next year.
Right.
But they were, and it was like, well, how are you good? How do you get good in college football? You get defensive linemen. I mean, you can't be bad at quarterback or, you know, like if you have a glaring weakness, but that's how you win. That's how you dominate.
Quarterback play and getting to the quarterback.
That's
Those
right.
Two things.
So if you just go back and you look at where Arkansas has been good, you know, 64, 65, they had Lloyd Phillips. I mean, he's the best defensive lineman in college football. He won the Outland. You know, 77 when they beat Oklahoma in the Orange, they had Jimmy Walker and Dan Hampton, both All-Americans in the defensive line. Wayne Martin, 88, 89, when Arkansas won back-to-back Southwest Conference championships, they get Wayne Martin. Go find you a stud defensive tackle, and everything turns out great.
Well, they grow them on trees in Georgia. They grow them on trees in South Carolina.
That's right.
We need some defensive lineman trees to be planted by Johnny Appleseed here in Arkansas. And we're going to get into the third hour of halftime. 877-377-6963. Coming right back after this.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
When I'm governor, we will educate kids, not indoctrinate them with the left's agenda. We will empower parents, not bureaucrats. And we will prepare students for the workforce, not government dependency. I believe every kid growing up in this state should have access to a quality education, a good job, and a better life right here in Arkansas.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders will fight back against Biden and the radical left's agenda.
Inflation is a pay cut for every Arkansan, and Biden's policies are only making it worse. As governor, I'll begin phasing out the state income tax to give you a pay raise and unleash bold reforms to make Arkansas one of the best places to start and grow a business, creating thousands of new, high-paying jobs.
Fighting back against the radical left, empowering Arkansans. Sarah Huckabee Sanders for governor. Paid for by Sarah for Governor.
Ride without compromise. CF Moto's brand new U-Force 1000 XL with 2 3-person bench seats to haul more rear ends as you haul butt. Auto Finders in Adventure, Oklahoma has the perfect CF Moto for any road you choose. Get some serious mud on the tires with aluminum rims, custom paint, power steering, and a 3,000-pound winch. No wonder the CF Moto is Auto Finders' best kept dirty little secret. Ride without compromise at Auto Finders in Adventure, Oklahoma in Roland. Visit a complete list of inventories online at autofindersok.com. Your search ends here.
Riley Farm Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. From general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics, Dr. Bo Sparkman and Dr. Brogan give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confidence, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
When it comes to your vehicle dent repairs, you want a local professional that you can trust. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair is your place. Michael, his family, and team have been in the community for over 30 years and are the best in the business. When all the other pop-up hail damage places have packed up and left town, Littleton's is still here taking care of your vehicle every day. Stay local. Stay with the best. Stay with the name you know and trust. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair. Highway 112 off I-540 in Pensacola.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Partly to mostly sunny sky today. Our high this afternoon into the middle 70s. Tonight, mainly clear to partly cloudy. Overnight lows, upper 40s to near 50. Wednesday, right back to sunshine, 75. Thursday, sunny skies. Our high temperatures into the mid 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Hey, this is Ty Richardson. Make sure to listen to The Morning Rush every weekday morning from 6 to 9 on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
KERX, Paris, Fort Smith.
2 seconds, 1 second, he lets fly with a shot.
From the Busch Light Studios, this is ESPN 95.3.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Matt Jones may take it to the house and the dunk.
You said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Produced by Matt Travis.
Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Hold the rope! I'm putting my heart up. Let's go, man!
Probably as frustrated as I've been the first half.
Do we believe?
Yes, sir. Second half, very happy.
Is vintage Matt Jones. Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Hold the rope! 1, 2, 3! 1, 2, 3! Turn that down, Drew!
Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
And Clay Henry with us for this last hour on a Tuesday edition of Halftime. Calls and texts coming in at 877-377-6963. All right, we got a World Series game tonight. I think we would have aired it last night. Hopefully, I think we should have that on the schedule today. Phillies starting pitching needed the day off. They really did.
So Syndergaard doesn't get to start now. Like that was kind of who I was. If you're the Phillies, you do not throw him out there. You change it up.
I think it's a matter of what sort of the innings that they expect out of him, because I think that they would like to get more innings from Suarez, who's going to throw today, and with him being a lefty, I think they want to throw him, and then they'll probably save Syndergaard to work out of the pen in this case.
I see me being not very smart with baseball. Why would you not just give everybody an extra day's rest? How does that not, like you talk about, why do you want somebody on 2-3 days rest? I know it's the World Series, but we got Mother Net. We got a break. Let's give everybody get you one more day's rest.
And I think it's a matter of like how deep do they allow Syndergaard to go? He's been more of like a 4 or 5 inning pitcher this year. Remember, he's missed 2 straight years.
That's right.
Basically, almost 2 full. I think he made 1 appearance last year, but two full years. And look, Ranger Suarez gets the ball today for them, and he's been really good. So he's been more dependable. He's got the last out of the championship series, working in the pen, and I think it actually helps.
So he hasn't pitched yet, Phil? He hasn't pitched the World Series yet?
I think he pitched in
Game 1?
Just to one batter. But
okay.
it was just a kind of a situational lefty kind of
That doesn't
thing.
hurt him too much then, getting going to I wonder that too, because you got to get all lathered up.
He would have pitched today if they would have played yesterday.
If they would have played,
so
so he's on his normal time. Okay.
They're just saving him up, yeah. It's weird, though, to be in November, and here we are. And you've only played 2 World Series games. I still have a little trouble, not accepting, but just like, all right, October for me is postseason baseball. But you know what else November is? Maction is upon us now. For all of our listeners who are addicted to college football, now's the time where you start getting your Tuesday, your Wednesday MAC football.
MAC attack, yeah.
Yeah. What do you have tonight? Because I know they've started. It never starts until November, and now it's like for the next. Because when do the bowl games begin? It's like 2 weeks into the month of December. So now you start getting more used to midweek football, which still feels a little bit weird in November. So Ball State and Kent State today at 6, and Buffalo and Ohio at 6:30. They get 2 games tomorrow. I mean, the MAC, they've got this brand, of being pretty entertaining football. Well, we're not doing like a MAC show or anything here, but I mean, they've got
take 16, the over. I always take the over in those games.
16 teams. They have 16 teams that are. I'm sorry, 8 teams that are playing tomorrow over the next 2 days. So those of you who need your college football, it is coming upon us. All right, you know what sucks? 11 o'clock morning game against LSU sucks. I hate this. I hate this from numerous reasons. And I understand we're going to be living in this world soon where the 11 o'clock window may end up being the best game in some cases. But we're not there yet. And Arkansas is in a position now where if the Ole Miss game is not a night game, then the only night game of the year was Missouri State. Was
really?
The FCS
I
game.
didn't even think about it that way. So they played.
They played at night against A&M, but that's in Jerry World. Now I'm talking about a Saturday night home game.
Oh man, think if you're tailgate, because what you want at night. I mean, you don't even get to go out there and tailgate. You get up, set up, setting up, and it's Bloody Marys and mimosas. That's it.
Well, they've got a basketball game the night before. I mean, the men's team plays Fordham at 7 o'clock the night before. So, I mean, it's 12-5. It's like that's 16 hours between tip-off of the basketball game and kickoff of the football game.
Are you going to do both? You think? I don't know. I mean,
I don't have a choice. I got to be at the football game.
Both with gusto.
I mean, that'll be an interesting couple of days for you too.
I think I want to be up there. Yeah.
This is next Friday. I can't be on the radio show because the women's basketball team plays their Screaming Kids Day morning game the same day that the men's team plays Fordham at night. The women's team has a 10:30 tip-off.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, against UCA. So, our 11 o'clock in the morning radio show.
What is going on with the 10:30 tip-off?
Well, the women, not just Arkansas, but most women's basketball teams will do a morning kids game.
I see. So you bring the high school kids and everybody, and you got to be done by 3. Makes sense. That's why you asked the question.
Elementary school day.
Yeah, okay.
Screaming
That's
Kids
the day, Matt. I mean, you and I are going to do the show because I'll step in for Phil that day. That we get to talk about Phil.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
We're going to get to talk about Phil.
And I will have no idea. I can't even listen into the show. I've got to focus on the basketball games. So you guys talk all the smack you want.
Remember the 5th of November.
My ears will be totally burning. And then and then there's a 7 o'clock men's game against Fordham and 11 o'clock in the morning against LSU.
Well, that'd be interesting. Phil, you'll be missed, but Clay, I will be in good hands. The show, Matty T, will be all right. Hopefully, I won't talk too much soccer, and we'll have all the LSU. We can just go down the memory LSU lane right there.
I talked to Matt about this morning briefly, Clay.
To ask you.
Well, be careful, Clay. You got to come with with other things to talk about because I think Judging on what you told me this morning, Matt, you're ready to do like 3 hours of soccer because the World Cup is coming up, man.
We're going to be single-digit days next Friday to the World Cup. I mean, what are you talking about, man?
I'm a soccer guy. I'm a soccer guy.
Hey,
My daughter played college soccer. Yeah.
Clay, I know you are, but so it's 20 days now, but November 21st, USA versus Wales. So it'll be 11 days, be 10 days for USA kicking off. I can talk about that all day.
I started learning a little bit about the Welsh soccer team from
Adam Lallana, Christian Bell. They got
there's this show on Hulu, Welcome to Wrexham. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, your boy Ryan Reynolds and the Always Sunny guy,
Rob McElhenney.
Yeah.
It's an entertaining program, but I learned a lot about. I haven't been able to catch up in the last maybe 3 weeks or so, but it's good. And keep in mind, this is. Wales having their own team would be like Alabama having their own Olympic football team, which they could put together and do very well because Wales is part of another.
It's a baby island.
It's part of another country. Yeah. It's a whole different situation. So good. I'm glad that you're a soccer guy, Clay, because I just know that the ball goes into the net and it's a point.
You got Champions. Hey, you got Champions League today. You got Liverpool plays Napoli today. I mean, that's going to be a fun match.
Have you always been into footy? Were you paying attention when you played football?
Yes, when I got to Jacksonville, and then you have time away, and you're around other people, other athletes, and you just kind of got drawn into the World Cup and to the Euros, and then you start seeing, and you're like. I just have so much respect for these guys. How fat? I mean, they're in the shape they're in. It's unbelievable to do interval work at that, sprinting at that, and then to be able to be so cerebral and just aware of what's going on. I mean, the respect that you have for what they're putting their body through is they're some of the best athletes in the world. I mean, just out of control. They're like little ballerina ninjas, man. They're crazy.
I'm just trying to picture a ballerina ninja, and that is a dangerous person.
Yeah, well, watch Neymar play. Watch Philip Coutinho play. I mean, these Brazilians, there's like jiu-jitsu, it's unreal how athletic they are and just how, man, it's crazy.
Yeah, I watch Messi when I can.
Yeah, he's next level.
And he's not doing anything. I mean, he's just kind of jogging around, and all at once the ball is played to his feet. And then the quickness in the burst.
If you blink, you miss it. Yeah.
And he makes like three guys look really bad in like a 5-yard little area, and then he scores.
Well, and Phil, think about being ambidextrous with your feet, but with the pitcher.
Yeah,
think about being able to throw both, like they can put the ball where they want, right-footed or left-footed, and put spin. I mean, it's sick. It blows my mind. I can't throw anything left-handed. It's like, and then. Some would say I can't throw very good right-handed either.
Well, I can't even pick my nose properly left-handed. So, yeah, I hit my eye all the time. Robert in Fort Smith has given us a call in halftime. What's up, Robert?
Hey, Phil. I want to talk a little bit this morning or midday, but those 11 o'clock kicks, you guys are in the business and you know it. Until you are relevant around the country, that's what you're going to get, because if you're not relevant in California, Arizona, up to Michigan and Florida on the TV, nobody don't care. And you know that. I mean, SEC Nation, I get it. But until you're relevant around the country, that's what you're going to get. And get ready for it. I mean, that's the way it is.
That's fair enough. I mean, that's if we were winning more games and better, then yeah, that LSU. I'm surprised if LSU, if they beat Alabama, they still. Why wouldn't they have that as a primetime game then? LSU controls their destiny if they win this week.
I'm just looking at the Alabama football schedule here. They've played one 11 o'clock morning game. That was the Texas game, and, of course, it was on the road. And that kickoff time was chosen by Fox, and they put their best game. Fox puts their best game at what they call Big Noon Kickoff, but it's 11 o'clock Central Time. So, yeah, Bama's played mostly night games this year. 6:30 Utah State, 6:30 Vanderbilt, 7 o'clock A&M, 6 o'clock Mississippi State. It's 6 o'clock in Baton Rouge this next weekend. And they had the only game they haven't had a set for yet is Auburn, and that'll probably be, my guess would be 2:30 on CBS, just because. They're playing 11 in the morning against Austin Peay.
I was going to say they always play against Watford at 11. They always.
Yeah, pardon me for a moment. I misspoke on that.
Delaware State's coming in.
But LSU always gets the night games because Saturday night, Baton Rouge and everything. And look, we were there Saturday night last year, Baton Rouge. I get it, but LSU wasn't great shakes last year, and they didn't really have that Saturday night feeling. But they get it this weekend against Alabama. And Robert, your point is well taken, but I do think that some of these things are going to change in some aspects. There's relevancy, but there's also the idea that the networks control when these league games are played. And if ESPN and ABC are going to be controlling every single SEC football game until the end of time, starting in 2 years, they are going to put some marquee games at 11 in the morning. They just are, because they're going to compete against Fox.
How much do you think, Phil, that the coach's name comes into this play? You know, you want to put a Jimbo Fisher versus a Lane Kiffin. At the time, when do the coaches, as much as anything, play a part in that?
Well, the coach and how good the team is. Yeah, I mean, you can have a named coach with a bad team, and they'll, they lose a little bit of the relevance, to use Robert's word.
Well, it's like when Lane Kiffin's calling Jimbo a Joker outfit and stuff, like that type of banter. Does that carry on over throughout, even if they're not as good, you still put the coaches out there a little bit? Because, they're the kind of, like I say, you go into the program a lot of times based on the relationship with that coach.
But if the team is not as good, it loses some of the sparkle. Yeah.
Fair enough.
But I know what you're saying, and there is something to that. If Nick Saban is about to be fired, well, yeah, they'll show it. They like that. But it didn't help. Auburn. They're playing 11 o'clock games. And Brian Harsin is getting fired. I guess he got fired. I want to go back to the soccer just for a second. Did you guys see the fight between the girls, the LSU and Ole Miss girls?
I did not.
In a fist fight?
No, we watched
was this at the SEC tournament?
Yeah, 2 nights ago.
I did not see this, no.
And, it was 2 LSU girls and 1 Ole Miss girl, and the fists were flying. If you want to see a fight, go track that one down. And they went on for a little while. I think everybody was like, well, the referee he's pulling out cards. He's not separating them. He's letting them fight.
I saw that Michigan State one.
That was a fight.
We
Helmets.
didn't know if the guy went into the other locker room or not. I couldn't tell based on the film. But, yeah.
I think there's still some investigation going on depending on where it was he went. But 10-on-1. Dude didn't even have his helmet on. And 4 suspensions come from that.
Well, there's no helmets on in this deal.
Well, I'll tell you what.
3 girls fighting.
Why didn't everybody go on their phone, well, not if you're driving, but go on your phone, go on your laptop, and search in this LSU Ole Miss fight, and we'll talk about it after the break, because I'm going to do that, and we got to have a commercial. First, want to remind you, hey, they've extended the fall sales at Cheap Sleep Mattresses and Furniture, so you can still get any size mattress starting at $9. You can still get a Lane sofa and love seat at only $8.99. You can still get a California King adjustable bed and mattress for $899, and you can still get a full name brand Queen or King mattress at $449, and they still got the split King adjustable bed and mattress for only $11.99. They've kept the fall sales alive at Cheap Sleep Mattresses and Furniture, so get on over to any of their locations: Bentonville, Fort Smith, Springdale.
Video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building or welding experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply today in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Dent Source, the leader in auto hail repair for over 20 years. Our certified technicians service all vehicles and offer a lifetime warranty. Dent Source will keep you on the road with a courtesy vehicle and offer free pickup and delivery. Dent Source, now open in Fort Smith.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports, contests, and events with first-to-market odds and lines. Find reviews and news for every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all your sports information, from live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head to BetOnline today or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50 to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's BELIEVE, BLEAV 50. That's BELIEVE, BLEAV 50. Bet online, where the game starts.
Ed Sheeran used to sing in the church choir, but now bad habits reveal his desire. The old saying goes, sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. Sow a character, reap a destiny. God knows you can't overcome. That's why the faith that saves is trusting what Jesus has already done. There's nothing else you can say or use or do. Bad habits lead to doom. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Sometimes wounds just don't heal, and when they don't, reach out to the Tulsa Wound Center. They provide chronic wound care using all the latest technologies such as hyperbaric oxygen therapy, shockwave therapy, skin substitutes, and more. When it comes to life and limb, experience matters. Make sure you are being seen and treated by an experienced and certified wound physician. Founder and medical director Dr. Lamley has been a prominent wound care and hyperbaric physician for over 15 years. 10,000 patients can't be wrong. Online at TulsaWoundCenter.com or call 918-561-6661.
Intimidator UTVs offer premium components as standard, unlike those other companies. Items such as doors, skid plates, heavy-duty frames, and comfortable seating, all at one comparable price. See why Intimidator UTVs are the best choice by visiting your local dealer, Horns Outdoor in Hot Springs, or visit hornsoutdoor.net.
Hi, I'm Mike Van Jr. with Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. You can count on my team to provide top quality pressure washing and exterior cleaning services for your property.
What all do you service?
Fence washing, gutter, or deep concrete cleaning for your home, commercial business, and more.
Do you have insurance?
Absolutely. We're covered with liability insurance, and we also use safe and effective wash methods, leaving your home or business looking brand new.
I guess I need to go to your website, mjmobilewash.com.
Or just give me a call at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
One call cleans it all.
95.3.
Hey, Surrey! Wake up, wake up, wake up, it's wake up, wake up. Yeah, 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 cash your checks and wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, it's wake up, wake up. Yeah, 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 cash your checks and wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, it's wake up, wake up. Yeah, 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 cash your checks and wake up. Wake up, wake up, it's wake up, wake up.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text into Halftime at 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Bone Thugs will remind you, time to write that rent check. Yep. Remember one, or the mortgage, whatever it is you pay. Some of you have already actually, own the whole thing, so don't worry about sending it in anyway. Was that your choice of song, Matt?
Phil, after I saw the punches thrown on that one chick, now they had about 3 of them ran over there. They one of them came from out of the screen, like, so she was obviously
50 yards.
Yeah, there was something. She there's those. You remember Cortland Finnegan? You remember those players that they're out there, and you're like, they just kind of
Something's not right with this guy.
Right, that's what it seemed
Vontae's
like.
perfect.
There you go. You know, you're like, man, there's a little something, but like ran all the way. It was wild.
Yeah, that was, and it was basically 3 or 4 players that get involved in this, and these were not open fists.
They didn't like each other.
This was not slapping. These were roundhouse rights and lefts that landed, and not a good look for LSU Ole Miss soccer.
Yeah, but walkout music, you got to have something going, right? It's walkout music.
Is your walkout music first of the month?
Oh no, it'd be Courtney Barnett or something. You know, nobody would dig it. Yeah,
except you, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, right.
Bobby from Cave Springs has called halftime, so he's not hog-noxious today. He's Bobby. What's up, Bobby? How are you?
Okay, glad you waited a second because I was getting my iced coffee in the drive-thru.
Yeah, we don't want to spill that and stain the lovely innards of your vehicle.
No, it would be horrible. So I hear all the argument about not getting the night games, and you know whether you're good or whether you're coaches and all that. All that argument kind of works until you look at the other team that's not getting enough night league games in the last 2 years, and that's Georgia. How is that explainable?
He's got a really good question.
East Coast, though, what they're not. I mean, aren't they just trying to play to their players as much?
I don't know, but
well, Georgia's not choosing the game time that they play in the SEC. I mean, this comes straight from the league office, which comes basically straight from CBS and ESPN. They're the ones that are choosing this. You get to pick your start time for any of your non-conference games, but the league and the television partners choose your start time for league games.
Was that a Oregon game, an early game? Was that kickoff game? That might have been that first game of the year they played.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I tell you, if you will remember what LSU looked like the last time they came up here.
Georgia hasn't played anybody. They
don't like being here at night. They freeze to death.
If you're going to beat somebody 60-0, they don't want it.
Yeah, I'm looking at their schedule. I wouldn't play them in a primetime game except for that Oregon game. They haven't played one single team really.
The Oregon game was 3:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Outside of that, there's a couple of 12 noon games, 2 3:30 kickoffs, including their win over Auburn, which usually would be a good game. I think that was the CBS game. And then, Florida at 3:30, but
yeah, but those 4 or 5 games there, Sanford, South Carolina, Kent State, Missouri. Yeah, that's no Vanderbilt.
Well, I mean, and also it's what other games are going up against it. CBS chose Alabama and Ole Miss for 2:30. Remember, Arkansas could be either on CBS or on ESPN. The other 11 o'clock game is Missouri, Tennessee, that either of those networks can pick up. The night game is Georgia that night. They're on ESPN at 6, visiting Mississippi State.
That's
SEC
playoff.
Network.
That's the first playoff game of the year.
A&M and Auburn also playing at 6:30 at night on SEC Network.
Thank you for the call.
I just thought you get one home night game in the league.
I think, I'm with you. I'm with you on that one. That's the game though. Georgia, Tennessee, man, and you're going Tennessee, huh? You said
I don't know which way I'm leaning just yet. I don't know which way, but I know. Look, Georgia's down their top pass rusher.
They just lost another guy. Yeah.
So I think they're. What is the thing Tennessee does best is throw the football. You're going to need to pressure the quarterback in order to slow them down. They just lost one of the main reasons that they've been pressuring quarterbacks. Bobby, appreciate the phone call. It's good to hear from you.
So the winner of Georgia and Tennessee is going to be in the SEC championship game, right?
I think the winner of that game and the winner of the Alabama LSU game would be in.
Okay, and then you got Tennessee is going to have to play Alabama again. And then Georgia is going to be waiting for them in the playoff. They're going to get in.
So whoever loses this game, you think?
So Tennessee is going to have to beat Alabama twice and Georgia twice.
We got to go earn it, right? Let's go get it.
Yeah.
Well, the way that you put it, this is the same way. Like, this is not a de facto playoff game in the same way that Ohio State, Michigan is de facto playoff, because it's going to be one of those teams that is playing for the Big Ten championship and therefore playing in the national, in the college football playoff, as long as they win the Big Ten. That's when you come out of the same division. The SEC feels different right now. Georgia, Tennessee, undefeated in the East. I can see Tennessee losing a close game, Georgia being defeated by Alabama in the SEC title game, and then you end up with Tennessee and Alabama in the playoff. Maybe.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's how this can work out. It's not a de facto playoff game. It just is kind of a de facto SEC East championship game, just not to get to the playoff.
If one of them loses badly, that changes things a little bit.
Yeah, I'd be
the Tennessee-Alabama game was awesome. Nobody's going to argue if they have to play that game again.
No, that was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, that was like video football, video games. I mean, it's like, okay, you're going to score, I'm going to score. You're going to score, I'm going to score.
What's the last we saw on the Bet Saracen app for this game? Here we go. I got Georgia favored by 8.5. Tennessee plus 240.
I'm taking Georgia. Like I don't know if they got 8.5, but Georgia at home.
If it's 8.5 on Friday, I'd take Tennessee.
Well, I'm talking betting, but I'm talking money line just as who I think is going to win the game. The 8.5. Yeah, Phil. You know what? 8.5 in Tennessee. I'm taking 8.5 in Tennessee. Yeah, I'm with you there. You don't see Tennessee getting beat by 3 touchdowns, right? Like they haven't done that all year. So I'd take 8.5 in Tennessee. Yeah.
877-377-6963 if you got thoughts on that. All right, we can –
and that's weird. So if we're going to get into the whole betting thing, it's like when that's why I guess I've never been good at it or don't really – it's like I think Georgia's going to win the game, but then it's like, oh, but it's Tennessee and 8.5. It's just a weird – like why would but I think Georgia's going to win the game.
Well, and I mean, we're going to be starting a gambling segment on halftime. Bet Saracen has joined forces with ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com to become the official betting app of our entire radio station. So, I mean, I've not been a sports bettor before, so there's plenty, I think, to learn as far as that's concerned, especially with, like, in-game parlays and stuff like that. It's a lot. It can be a lot more involved than just the money line and what you see as far as who's favored. There's a lot to learn about, and I think we'll get to that later on this week, probably on a Friday. But for right now, we're into the home stretch of halftime. Clay Henry staying with us to the top of the hour. Of course, we got Matt Jones, Matt Travis, and me, and you can be a part of it too. 877-377-6963. We'll come right back.
You're listening to Toyota Tuesday. Stop by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places.
Home is everything. It's your sanctuary, your command center, your music room, and your art studio. It's where you eat family dinners and make lasting memories. When you use a Weichert agent to help you find your home, we'll help you find the space to make it yours. When you begin your search, know that a Weichert agent will be there with you every step of the way. Because at Weichert Realtors, we guide you home. To get started, call your local Weichert agent and look for our bright yellow signs all over town. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
The Powerball jackpot from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is now more than $1 billion. So, what would you do if you won?
I'd buy a baseball team.
Ooh, I would definitely buy my mom a Tesla so that she can drive cool, look cool.
If I won a jackpot, I'll start a cooking school for the youth in the city.
Got your ticket? If not, visit your local lottery retailer for your chance to win the Powerball jackpot of more than $1 billion. This is winning. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Come on back out and see us around the Ford. That's where we're at today. I got my buddy Dalton with me. And Dalton, let's talk a little bit about the Mustangs you guys have in stock. Everything starting on the showroom floor to what we have out front for sale.
Yeah, first and foremost, we traded in the unicorn of a Mustang yesterday. It is a GT350 2016 with only 160 miles on it.
You know, that car's still brand new. I mean, 160 miles on a 2016 Mustang GT350 Cobra. It's absolutely gorgeous. You also have a new Mustang, a GT on the showroom floor as well.
Yeah, that one's grabber blue. It's got the black top and the black wheels. It's the 5.0, and it is sweet looking.
Mach 1. You also have an EcoBoost sitting out front, so if someone's looking for a Mustang, all they have to do is come by here.
Yeah, come by and ask for Dalton.
There you go. Stop in and see my friends. You can shop us online and check these out, and then just come by and test drive them. We're at 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. And don't forget, RandallFord.com 24/7. Come see us today.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. From general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics, Dr. Bo Sparkman and Dr. Brogan give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confidence, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Chuck Barrett here. I know a thing or two about making great calls in Arkansas. And when it comes to your home service needs, make the call to Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Paschal offers plumbing services from simple drain repairs to running all new lines. And right now, you can replace your water heater with a professionally installed system from Paschal. Take $150 off a new traditional water heater or $300 off a tankless system. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Arkansas owned. Arkansas operated. GoPaschal.com.
Are you a qualified CDL driver with local or over-the-road experience? Tired of driving older equipment? Not having enough home time? Feel like a number? You need Patriot Transport. Patriot Transport, based in Centerville, with locations in Russellville and Van Buren, provides you with late model equipment, has a family atmosphere, and provides you the opportunity to make $95,000 per year. Patriot Transport works with you to get the miles you want and the family time you need. Change your life today. Visit PatriotTransport.com to apply. That's PatriotTransport.com.
Are you an experienced concrete finisher? Do you want to make the highest salary in the area? Do you want to get paid bonuses for your good work? Then Forsgren is for you. Apply now from any device, anytime, anywhere at GoForsgren.com. GoForsgren.com. Apply now at GoForsgren.com. Are you an experienced dump truck driver? Do you want to make the highest salary in the area? Do you want to get paid bonuses for your good work? Then Forsgren is for you. Apply now from any device, anytime, anywhere at GoForsgren.com. GoForsgren.com. Apply now at GoForsgren.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Hey, tired of the ESPN broadcasters? Pause your TV and sync up the broadcast with Chuck and Quinn on hitthatline.com or your ESPN Arkansas radio station.
Off the hook, I had to take a closer look. Would it be possible, honey, to have a little talk with you? Oh, baby, I'll be your shelter when you're homeless.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text into Halftime at 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Rough news came down yesterday from Sam Pittman. He'd hinted this after Saturday's win, but didn't get into the details until yesterday. Dominique Johnson out for the year. ACL injury occurred last week. The interesting thing is that it sounded like the injury happened on a Tuesday, and he practiced Wednesday and then went under an MRI Thursday, and it's confirmed ACL injury. Same knee, and it comes from a position of strength. It is terrible for the team because I don't think you can ever have enough great running backs, but for Dominique, who's a talented guy, really talented, that's just tough news. And Clay, that's twice now that somebody who's a pretty important part of this football team, you look at Jalen Catalon and now Dominique, same injury 2 years in a row, and it feels like, I've never had to deal with rehabbing an injury like you have, Matt, but when it's the same thing and you just finished rehabbing that same joint, man, it's tough the first time around. I can't even imagine what it feels like the second time around.
You feel like an outsider, Phil, when you get hurt and you can't play. You don't feel a part of the team as much because you're not really practicing. You're doing your rehab, you're doing your maintenance, you're taking care of the stuff you got to take care of, but you still feel like I mean, you're not part of it. And so you hate it for the kid. You hate it because it's hard work, man. It's hard work to get back, and you have the best doctors and best medicine, but it's hard work for you see some of those kids that come in there and they'd hurt their knee or hurt their shoulder or hurt something, and they'd try to do everything they could to get back, and they'd get hurt again. They just never play. You hate it for them. Hopefully, the thing is, though, today how awesome the surgeons are and medicine is, hopefully he gets it fixed up and gets a red shirt and comes back and able to play for the Hogs.
Clay, I think of a knee injury for a running back in the same way that I do an elbow reconstruction for a pitcher, because I mean you can come back from this, but maybe it takes some extra time, and a lot of patience, and then maybe there's a difference here that I'm not sure if running backs are quite the same after having major knee surgery, certainly a second time. Pitchers are a different thing. Like guys throw harder 2 years after the Tommy John surgery than they did before. So, it's tough to draw the lines between the two of them, but I feel terrible for Dominique, just awful.
There's lots of cases where they make great comebacks from ACL. Madre Hill, he had both, and then he had a great year. But there's also lots of instances where they don't make it back, and sometimes it's as much mental as it is physical, and I haven't had any history with that at all, so I'm not one to speak, but it's got to be the anguish, the mental, it just kind of comes into your whole life, when you have that, right? I mean, Matt,
well, you're not competing, you're not practicing, you don't feel, and like I said, it's you mentally, you don't feel a part of the team. You kind of just like, man, everybody, the show goes on, and that's just how it's hard when you have to do that. For a team,
it's like you're all working towards this one goal, which is to win the next game that's in front of you. But when you're rehabbing, you can't really be a part of that.
Right.
Like you can talk with the guys and do the off-field leadership and everything, but your goal is rehabbing, getting back to health.
When they're going to practice, you're going to get on the bike. You're going to the pool. You're going to do something. See, you're still working. You're still the same goal, but you're just not part of it. You feel distance.
Clay, I'll never forget during the 2019 baseball season, the 2018 season. That's when Kevin Kopps had his elbow surgery, and he was a forgotten part of that team.
Yeah.
He was a pretty important part of the team the year before. But I'd see him and be like, "That's right, Kevin's here, man, and look at how well this team is playing without him." And it was 2 years. It was 2 years later. He has this, superhuman kind of a season. But 2 years before that, a lot of people had forgotten he was even on the team.
Yeah, I think I've never been more shocked. And you write it down, and you're not sure you believe it. But when Matt Hobbs told me in that I guess it was a January interview before that incredible season that he had. I'm talking about Kevin Kopps. He said, "I think you're going to be writing a story in May about an unbelievable season from Kevin Kopps." And I wrote it down.
Definitely
I'm
did.
glad I had it on tape.
Yeah.
But he nailed it. But I mean, and he's like, he's got this pitch, and it's unhittable, and blah. He went through it, and it was exactly right. The thing that he's saying now is about a bunch of their pitchers are really have those kind of pitches in their arsenal, that this could be a great pitching staff. But yeah, it's when you don't ever know if you're going to come back from that kind of injury, the knees, and they've got the mental coaches over there in the Jones Center now. I mean, there's a whole wing of people that psychiatrists. They didn't have that when you were there, didn't they?
No, Clay. I was just going to say that when I got to Jacksonville, they had a psychologist coach there that was like that, but not what. The coach, that was kind of the coach's, your position coach's job was that's what made it the coaches so good.
Don't forget them.
Yeah, you're the one that they're the psychologist. That's who's supposed to get you going in the relationship, and that's kind of that to me. That's what the good coaches were. My dad was a coach, and you know that, but you got to know when to go put your arm around the kid, and then you got to know when to kick him in the butt. It's a fine line.
So I think Sam Pittman's pretty good at that.
I think Musselman's good at it too. I think he errs on the Bobby Knight side, but I think he kind of I mean, they know where he's – and as a player, Clay, Phil, you don't want consistency. You just want to know – you want to be told straight up what's up, and you want consistency.
I think you want to know that the person you're dealing with is treating –
They care as much as you. Yeah.
Yes, and that's what I've always gleaned from Sam Pittman. He talks about, and I think any great recruiter, it's not just a matter of getting the kid to campus. It's actually treating him and – the way you told his parents that you were going to treat him, look over him as if he was your own. And I do get that sense from Sam Pittman, even in the way he's talked about Jalen Catalon, the way he talked about Dominique. You get that sense from him, and I think he knows that the running back group is just fine. They're fine. It's you just have to put yourself in the player's position and be like, you got to do all this all over again. Like, how much of a 2-year period do Jalen and Dominique have to spend rehabbing injuries, the same injury, over the course of 2 years? It's just like they need the sports psychologist. I mean, it'd be good to sit and talk with therapists about this, because this is the kind of situation that I don't think a lot of us, at that age are used to dealing with.
And I think about, and Clay, you said there's a lot of people that do that we don't hear about. I think Adrian Peterson, he's a guy that came back early and had multiple injuries. Can you think of some other ones that had multiple ACL or multiple, Drew Brees had one time his shoulder got hurt and he had to have surgery, but then he didn't have to do it again.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm drawing a blank right now. I'm sure there's a bunch of them, but I think that
J.J. Watt's been hurt a lot, but it's been different injuries. But he'll miss a whole season and has to come back. He's a guy that I think about that. And Peyton Manning, I guess, with the neck issue.
Didn't Terrell Davis have 2? Didn't he blow out the ACL twice? I think that's one of the things that ended his career. Pretty much, it is the thing that ended his career.
Yeah, and in baseball, I always think that Tommy John, and you say they come back throwing stronger now, but it seems like that's a rite of passage almost for these baseball pitchers that they kind of got to go through it. Yeah,
in some ways, but it takes time too. Like Kevin Kopps, the next year, he had some good moments in 2019. He wasn't near the pitcher that he was 2 years later. So I can imagine for Neek. I mean, the initial injury occurred at the Outback Bowl, so he had the whole off season. Now there's I guess a little extra time built into it. I just hope he doesn't rush it back.
That makes me think, speaking of getting hurt on your last play, Ryan Howard I never saw him again.
Yeah.
Got hurt on that last play down to first base, speaking of the Phillies in the World Series, and then Neek being hurt the last game and then having to rehab and come back. That's got to be wild, yeah.
And he was never – well, that's an injury that is really tough to come back from. If I remember, isn't that an Achilles, a torn Achilles?
Oh, yeah, it's hard.
It makes me cringe even thinking about that.
Here's a study that says 1/3 of NFL players with ACL injuries did not return.
I believe it. Yes, Clay, I believe it. So you're underneath the gun already, yeah.
I still remember the one guy that came back really quickly from it, and for this time of this era, it was incredibly quickly. Rod Woodson. Of course, I'm going to remember something that happens with a Steeler here, but Rod Woodson blew out his ACL. Basically, if I remember correctly, it was the first game of the 95 season, and Barry Sanders juked Rod Woodson out of his ACL, and he was done for the rest of the regular season. Made it back for the Super Bowl. For the Super Bowl, it was I think 6 months between the injury and the time that he got back. And that had never, as far as I remember, had never happened in the NFL, because you always pictured it was supposed to be a year.
So who did he play for then?
Came back from an ACL.
He didn't play for Pittsburgh in 95.
It was still Pitt. Yeah, he came back that year.
I thought San Francisco played San Diego in the Super Bowl. Trying to think that year.
94 they did. That was the 1995 Super Bowl for the 94 season.
So the Steelers were in Super Bowl that year.
Yeah, they won the 95 AFC title, lost to the
Greg
Cowboys.
Lloyd?
It's the last time Greg Lloyd, Kevin Green.
Yeah. Okay, I remember them, yeah.
Last time the Cowboys were in the Super Bowl, but you Cowboy fans remember that too. Justin Verlander came back from Tommy John surgery. but he did miss 2 seasons.
Tom Brady came
because
back
of
after
this.
ACL.
Yeah, that was the first game of the year against the Chiefs. I think I had him on my fantasy team that year. And I told you, Phil, or I talked to you yesterday about when I think we were on a break, but I thought Verlander was done, especially when he was getting traded and coming back out of Detroit. I said, man, he had a Hall of Fame career. I think he's done. And what he's done in the last 5 years is just remarkable. You said he's probably win the Cy Young this year.
He is going to win the Cy Young Award this year. Now, you don't have to worry about too many injuries doing radio, Matt, but a sprained tongue is going to take you out for a week. So hopefully that doesn't happen to you. Get over to Twin Peaks and Rogers for Arkansas football this weekend. And, hey, with action going on this week, with World Series back in action tonight, that's your place to watch anything involving sports. Twin Peaks and Rogers. 29-degree draft beer continues to flow. Great food coming out of the kitchen, made from scratch fan favorites that you've become so familiar with, and their sports blasting from every single angle. It's the ultimate game day experience at Twin Peaks in Rogers, or visit them at twinpeaksrestaurant.com, and you can order to-go or delivery and enjoy your Twin Peaks scratch favorites from home. More TVs, bigger screens, scenic views, more to watch at Twin Peaks. Halftime wraps up a Tuesday. Next.
Who's hungry, Fort Smith? Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. And this month, I'm serving up heaping helpings of deals on Rath road-ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. So right now, you could save up to $4,500 on a nicer, newer car, based on the price of the car you choose. It's our feast of savings, and these deals are all gravy, so if you're sick of your old ride, toss it like yesterday's leftovers. Come in today, and you can save up to $4,500. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with a free winter-ready inspection, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. So pull up a chair at my feast of savings, and you could save up to $4,500 on a nicer, newer car. But hurry, a deal this hot will cool down fast. Only in Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Building a home can be stressful. This is true whether you're the homeowner or the contractor. Many times these issues result in a lawsuit. If you are a homeowner or a contractor and find yourself needing legal help, call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partner. With experience representing homeowners as well as non-payment or other issues that could arise during construction. Contact Brad Hull or Kevin Hickey at 479-434-2414 in the River Valley or 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas. Or check them out at the web at artriallawyers.com.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop until you get something done. Yeah, I know the game is on, but the faucet is still dripping, the toilet keeps running, and the drains won't drain, and on and on. You need to call West Ark Plumbing and let them do the dirty work while you enjoy the game. Call them at 646-5151 and watch the ball game without the West Ark Plumbing, 646-5151.
Hey, where's the rest of the beer?
I'm probably out unless you clowns brought some.
Well, I've already had 3. Who's going to get more?
Order it from your phone.
From where?
Sody's delivers.
You mean where my girlfriend gets her wine and those cheese plates?
And if you don't want to drive, that's where you can order it. My free beer is gone.
Sody's now delivers inside Fort Smith city limits. Just order from mysodys.com or download the Sody's app and order from your phone. Sody's Wine and Spirits. Experience different.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. You may know us as the Xerox authorized dealer in the River Valley, but Dixie Digital is also now an Epson Platinum partner. We have multifunction models up to 100 pages per minute, desktop multifunctions, and wide format models that are surprisingly affordable, even desktop scanners that can make your documents completely searchable. For more information, give us a call at 479-783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
No MSRP markup. At Road Chevrolet, we never price a vehicle over MSRP. Other dealers in our area mark vehicles over MSRP, taking advantage of the times we live in. Not Road Chevrolet. We believe in being honest and looking out for our customers. Wouldn't you rather get a great deal you can feel good about from a locally owned dealership that cares about more than just profit? Before you pay over MSRP, let us show you what we can do. Find new roads. Road Chevrolet, just off I-540 exit 2A Van Buren. Prices you'll love, people you can trust.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Well, you wake up in the morning, you hear the work bell ring, and I march you to the table. You see the same old thing. Ain't no food upon the table. There's no fork up in the pan. But you better not complain, boy. You get in trouble with the man. Let the midnight special shine a light on me. Let the midnight special shine a light on me.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Give them a call or send them a text at 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
All right, we're wrapping things up pretty quickly here on Halftime. Another fast 3 hours right past us here. 877-377-6963. If you got a text that can get in the next couple of minutes. World Series on the air tonight on ESPN Arkansas. And I think there are no other travel days now because they got to play, you got to make up for the travel day for the rain out.
I know I made the bad joke in the first hour, but did you see that the Boston Celtics coach might be he's the first one on the list for Brooklyn's job? Now that Steve Nash is out, that's what they're saying. Is it Ime Udoka? Am I saying that?
Udoka, that's right.
Yeah, so he's the first. He's the first one that they're, according to Adrian Wojciechowski.
Well, Woj says it usually.
Right.
Kind of happens.
So how fun? Yeah, weird, huh? Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's supposed to be a really good coach.
I mean that Brad Stevens, that family tree, right, coaching tree right there. That's what you want to be part of in the basketball world. Steve Kerr, Brad Stevens, yeah.
Another NFL trade. Sources are saying it's another NFL trade. You kind of wonder, like, who is ESPN stealing this kind of from? Because they don't give credit to a lot of other reporters. They just say sources. Bradley Chubb, outside linebacker for the Broncos, headed to the Dolphins. Which would send Miami's first-round draft choice to Denver. Denver gave up their first-round pick in the Russ Wilson trade, correct?
So Miami thinks they're going to have a chance to make a playoff run then, huh? They got Tua's back and healthy, and they went and got the receiver, Tyreek Hill, so now they're getting their pass rusher. Their Dolphins are all in this year.
Well, they're 2 games in back of the Bills. Bills have that division, I think. But that's not what it's about. It's not just about winning the division. I mean, here it is. It's just sort of the halfway point of the season, and you're just getting yourself set up for what's a run. Miami's in the same position as a couple other teams.
Nobody's going to match the 49ers pickup, though.
Go Christian McCaffrey.
That guy is so much fun to watch.
They gave up a lot, but he's
they knew what they were doing. Yeah, the missing link.
When you see your shot, you got to shoot it. So I keep being told, and that works in all walks of life. Clay, appreciate you. Always enjoy these Tuesdays. Thanks for joining us, and we'll have you on
Had fun.
Thursday.
Yep,
Thanks,
we'll do
Clay.
it again.
You got that. And Matty T will have the Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast coming out. You got Ruskin and Zach with you for the next 4 hours. For Matt Jones and Matt Travis and Clay Henry, I'm Phil. That's your halftime now. Get up, get out, and get better.